hopefully that is working. I have been playing around with the audio. Hopefully the rain is not too loud. It's gone. I'll bring the tea back in a moment. Don't you worry. I do need to check the audio, so excuse me one moment. Why is the audio not working? Not too loud? Am I too loud? Cool. It's fine. Hang on. I just need to bring in the guests for today. Where am I going with this? This needs to go there. Can you tell this is professional? So today we have the wonderful people of Sin and Nito, who I shall now unmute. And they should be able to hear you two now. And you should both be able to hear me.
I can indeed.
You're
Hello.
welcome. Can everybody hear them okay? Because, as I said, I've been playing around with the audio. Hopefully it's better.
From what I heard over the stream, which I've had to mute, yes, it sounded great.
Perfect. Because I discovered not only can I put audio into negatives, I didn't realise I could put them into positives. And
You found the gain
I
option.
found the gain option, which is hidden away in Discord, in OBS apparently. Anyway, this is the coffee shop. This is literally a chat about literally anything you want, as long as it's polite. And that's it. And I have wonderful Hinito and Sin with us today. Yeah. Literally, this is it. And yes, I shall bring the tea back if people want the tea back. I can bring that back.
I like the T-Cam. I thought the T-Cam was pretty cool.
Let me just switch it over. Hang on. Hopefully it doesn't break anything. That shouldn't have broken anything, hopefully.
This is live, yeah? This is
you are
your
live.
tea. Your tea right
Yeah,
now.
look, I can put my hand over it. That's my tea. That's
Amazing.
my tea. My other crappy webcam. I did just burn my tongue on that tea though, so now I can't taste any of it.
Oh dear.
It
Because
has
That's
longevity.
probably-
It has
yeah.
longevity now.
yes, the problem is I put it in a flask straight out of a boiling kettle and thought that'll do. And yes, it's still absolutely boiling. And I did spill some, as you can see, but I have no tissues in here to wipe
At
it up.
least you know your flask works.
Yes, my flask works almost too well. Sin's a bit loudy. Oh, that's fine. I can solve that. Sin, apparently you're a bit loud. Is Hinito okay? Let's have a look. Let's drop Sin by 50%. That should help. I had a starting question for actually people who edit, which is us three and everybody in the chat probably. I was watching Amazon's like Top Gear thing, whatever the hell it's called now, and I couldn't help but notice some like janky editing in it. And I don't know about you guys, but now when I watch things, I'm actively looking for editing things and see what people have done to make them better or worse. Worse. Well done, brain. Well done, brain. Worse. Like if someone's put like a filter over something, or if someone's tilted the camera pre or post production, I've started noticing things like that. I don't know if it's just me being like really picky, or
No, that's normal.
No, it's not just you. When I started editing, I became obsessed with it, and whenever I watched something with Kane, I'd be like, "Oh, there's a cut there. They've cut that there. They've cut that there."
there's like there's loads of clever editing tricks I really want to use, but I have no use for them currently.
Same.
Like,
Such as?
there's I can't remember which way round it works, but you can move. Say you've got an apple on a table, you can move the camera towards the apple and zoom out, and you get sort of a deepening field, depth of field. And then if you do it the other way around, you get like your depth of field disappears. I can't remember the name of that. That's a really clever trick. So let's say I'm looking at the webcam and I don't know, something dramatic happens and I turn to the cam, and then you can zoom the camera in but pull it back, so then my my head fills up more of the frame
Does it kind of distort the image like a little bit, maybe?
ever so slightly, but it's a clever little trick of getting that you've just realised something, or something
Yeah.
or something amazing's happened.
Yeah.
but that's something you can only, as far as I'm aware, you can only do in production. You can't do it post production. But again, I'm no movies editor, so I may be wrong with that. Sorry, I've just realised I've completely ignored the chat for a moment. But yeah. Who have we actually got in the chat? I've completely neglected it. We have Torn, we have CJ, we have Waifu, Little Welshie. Important question for Little Welshie. How's your new computer? Am I not allowed to say? Am I not allowed to say that?
Ooh.
I think I've just put Welshie on the spot.
Yeah.
I'll get an angry email later. How dare you?
I couldn't imagine Welshie
No.
going mad at you personally.
Oh dear.
Who else is here? Chris is here.
Mhm.
Meg's here.
Yep.
Who else have I seen pop in? I've scrolled to the top. Oh, wait, I was like, oh, Hen's it. Oh, wait, Hen's in the chat. I was
Well,
going to
here's
sit down,
normally in the chat.
and be ill in the corner. I was gonna...
Oh dear. Emotes work? I didn't know I had them turned on or off. That's one of the things I've not played with. Oh, dear.
Emotes.
Yeah, I haven't played with any of my Twitch settings. Hang on, I'm just flicking back through my notebook, which you can actually see on cam. I forgot there's a camera there. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll leave it there.
Look, mate, notebooks are fine.
I think I have a problem though. I have like 13 notebooks.
I've got a little red book which has got all most of the magic tricks that I research, and I write down them in that because I will forget. Because again, it's just the way I I'm one of them people who learns by writing it with a pen. Lots of people can make notes. Certainly at work, like, you know, if you like wrote a wiki, for example, on an intranet sort of thing, yeah, that's great because you can put screenshots in it. But it purges from my head way too easily. I find I'm one of those people I like writing things down.
Yeah. Like it was probably 3 months ago. I got this specific notebook, which has on one side has like the days of the week, and the other side is just a blank page. And this book was recommended to me. And I am so glad because I literally can go back through it and I've got checklists of things like I've got things on here like update this, go and check this. Oh, don't forget about this game, which I would have forgotten about. And it's like those random ideas you have at 3 in the morning that you won't remember by the time you wake up. That you can just quickly jot down.
Have you ever had a dream diary?
No. I had
Yes.
a dream. You have? Ooh.
Yeah. A long time ago, and looking back at some of the dreams I used to have, so bizarre, but very like video games. So
I mean, what is the? I don't see the. I say the point, but not everyone needs a point. But what's the reasoning behind having a dream diary?
So you're going to remember a dream pretty much as soon as you wake up, because the longer your brain engages back into the real world after you've woken up, you'll forget it. So you pretty much, as soon as you wake up, as soon as you're compos mentis, you write down what you can remember from that dream. Because
lot
if you give it another 30 minutes, you'll forget it all.
yeah, and a lot of writers use their dreams and the ideas that they generate in their dreams for their novels sometimes.
That's clever. That's very clever. I mean, I haven't had dreams much of late, but I literally had one last night, and it was me flying around. Yeah.
Well, dreams are lots of them are based on memory, aren't they? So when you say flying around, are you talking you personally flying like
Yeah, like as in zero gravity, sort of flying.
floating with style?
Yes. Which tends to be a theme in my dreams. But I've always, like, ever since I've been playing, this is turned into a random rant now, but this is what this is. It's, I always had this dream of building, like, a personal jetpack sort of thing, which mechanically is just a bloody nightmare. But I keep looking every now and then, I'll go and dig into, like, little jet engines and propellers and see how much more powerful they've gotten. And, like, the density of batteries and stuff. And it's just like, one day this might actually be feasible.
So your actual dream is kind of ingrained with the minutiae of the actual mechanics of how making it work, rather than most dreams, which is I have a jetpack, now I'm flying in said jetpack.
Hmm.
The why and where and wherefore, how you got there is irrelevant normally in a dream. You just accept it, that it's just there and you have it.
Yeah, it's like, I think I'm. This is turning into me thing now, but we'll go with it for a second.
No, we're just talking about dreaming. That's all.
Yeah, like a good example was this cup, right? The cup that my tea's currently in. I remember seeing that and thinking, I would really like that cup. And then umming and ahhing over it and getting it. But it's the same thing, I think, when I see something. See, when I see something mechanically interesting, I want to own it and play with it and see what it does and stuff. Some of these things are like ridiculous money and I'd never get them, but I just always intrigued about something and how something works. And, like, yeah.
There's an interesting thing I just saw pop up in the chat then. Well, she says she never dreams. I've had this very same conversation with Ash, and Ash says he cannot dream. And it's like, we did this, I ended up doing this test when I was kind of just having an online chat with Ash once, and it was like, if you shut your eyes, and then you mention like a celebrity, can you see their face? And he can't. So I'll be quite interested to know if Welsh can do the same. If Welsh were to shut her eyes, and I said, I'm just pulling out the bag here. If I said, imagine Robert Downey Jr., could you see his face in your mind's eye? Because apparently people who can't dream cannot do that. There is a word for it, and I'm sure Ash would tell me like immediately because he knows words like that.
The mechanisms of wolf mind are enigma. I don't know what's going on in my head half the time, Torn. Oh dear. Yeah, that tends.
Meg's just said it's called aphantasia.
I could not pronounce that. I'm glad you read that and not me. Yeah, that's an interesting one because, like you said, some people can see stuff in their head very easily. Like I can see stuff in my head, like just take an engine from a car, and I could easily pull that apart in my head. But I couldn't. Like my handwriting is absolutely appalling. So, and my reading and writing and spelling. If anybody who's seen any of my descriptions of the videos I make is like, yeah, grammar's just appalling. So, but I feel like you might not be able to see or have dreams, but you might have a benefit somewhere else. What that is, I couldn't tell you.
So Hen, the dreams that like you've had, would you? Because I mean, I've had some weird dreams, like especially when you're ill. So of late, I tend to have like. Do you ever have recurring dreams, Hen?
When I was younger, I used to often have dreams where I felt I was in the same place. But I think that's because when I was younger, for some reason, I used to dream a lot about houses. And they'd be all different shapes and dimensions, but I would dream a lot about being in different houses that turned out not to be mine.
Okay.
Because I think, and citation needed, but your dreams are basically just random neurons firing, I think. But
Yeah, but don't they kind of initialize memory?
yeah, that would make sense.
Lots of, I mean, one dream I've had a lot is it's my grandmother's house. I mean, she passed away. Oh, I would have been what 16 or something. I mean, I'm 37 now, so 21. I haven't been in that set foot in that house in 21 years. But in my mind's eye, I can see every aspect of that house, and sometimes dream-wise that manifests, and I can walk around as if I'm there. Now, I don't know if that's from memory or I'm using points of memory to fabricate, almost a brief reality.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert on dreams at all, but I kind of think of dreams as like, at the end of the day, your brain needs to do something with all the information it has, past and present, I guess, maybe. And I just kind of picture a room with like filing cabinets, and your brain's like, right, I'm going to sort this out. And then just like throws everything everywhere and then tries to shove them back in drawers. And that's how dreams are created. But that's just how I think of it. Like it's memory, it's what you've been experiencing recently. You know, what you've read, what you've played, and it kind of just stitches it all together into something new to help process that information down. I don't know. That's just how I think of it.
No, I think you are correct. I remember listening to an audiobook about something about brains and all the rest of it, and there was a bit on there where it says your dreams are to help you, like, say tomorrow you've got something really stressful to do. Like, let's just use a job interview for an example. Is your brain will make you rehearse it in your head to practice it. So it's a similar sort of thing where, like you said, you take the skills you have acquired over the day, or the knowledge, and your brain goes, don't need that, do need that, don't need that, do need that. So I think you are pretty much correct with that.
Well, it's like, and everyone does dream. I mean, you have to have REM sleep at some point. Otherwise, you do start to like lose your mind. It's obviously something that the brain desperately needs to do, just like restarting your computer now and then.
Yes. Yeah. It's because I think it's like the world record for staying awake. Pardon me. The world record for staying awake is like 11 days. So,
Was that torn?
on a load of not sponsored drink. 'Cause I don't drink that. I drink this.
Yeah.
Not
sponsored by Twinings.
Not sponsored. Yeah, should I start doing that? No, I'm not going to do that.
Only if you stick your little finger up when you're drinking it.
I don't do that.
Yeah, but you got to be fancy. That's their demographic, isn't it?
Have you seen the cup I'm drinking it from?
Then you're appealing to a newer audience, then, aren't you?
Hang on, if I turn it round. Sorry, chat. By the way, I'm skim reading you, but I'm also letting these guys chat because the conversation's quite good. There you go. There's another side of the cup for you.
What does that say?
I don't know if it's in focus. This is a crappy little camera, by the way. This is an old webcam.
Falcon, something.
Falcon Heavy, it should say. Everything's backwards as well, so I move it to the right and it actually goes left on the camera. Yeah, I'm just going to catch up with the chat for a moment. Hello, anybody I missed? Literally anybody I missed. I've missed a few, I believe.
Christian's here.
Christian's here. Someone followed. Cinematic. I probably pronounced that wrong.
Yeah, that's Meg. We know Meg.
Oh, hello, Meg. CJ's here. Torn's here. I think I've covered everybody. But yeah. So this is a lot of memory, and they say that falls off lucid dreaming. We were talking about lucid dreaming the other day, me and Sin. And yeah, it's. I don't know anybody that can do it. Does anybody in chat or Anito? Do you know anybody that can lucid dream?
What is lucid dreaming?
I believe the lucid dreaming is where you know that feeling when you're in a dream and you know you're in a dream and then you suddenly wake up.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Yeah, it's being able to control your dreams effectively.
When you can control it, yeah.
Yeah.
I have been able to do that on occasion, and I know my sister, because she used to have really terrible nightmares about being pursued by basically murderers, and they were really horrible dreams. But she used to read a lot of really depressing stuff because she liked to study about
Criminology.
well, not criminality, but she used to read a lot about places like Iran and Iraq and their history and stuff like that. She used to read a lot on that, and some of that is very depressing. But when she was doing that, she started having dreams about being pursued by murderers, and she told me that she actually developed this ability to realize she was dreaming and to stop herself from getting killed in the dream,
I was told that the way you can learn to do it is, say you're walking down a street and you see a sign. I think I've told you this already, Sin.
Yeah.
The sign says, I don't know, coffee £2.50. If you look away and then look back and it still says coffee £2.50, you're not in a dream. And the trick is, do that as the day goes on normally, and then you get in a habit of it. The same way, like you check the time or you check your messages or emails or whatever time you do that. Then when you're in a dream, and if you do that and suddenly it goes from coffee £2.50 to, I don't know, the news of the day, then you know you're in a dream, and it's not as jerking as it won't jerk you out the dream. and then you can suddenly right, I'm in control of the dream, and then you can play with it, as it were. That's what I've been told, but I can't do it.
I said I've told you this story before. I've only ever been able to once manipulate a dream to like I don't want to say my will, but borderline Neo and Matrix style, because I realised I was dreaming. What did I do? I started throwing Hadoukens at people. Of course I bloody
Of course you did.
did.
Yeah.
The one thing I've always wanted to do is throw a fireball. I mean, that if that isn't a waste of childhood, I don't know. But my one ambition is to be Ryu. I mean, for goodness sake. I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that.
stupid.
This is probably why dreams are called, use that word dream for sleep dreams, as well as like my dream is to be head of a university or something. Yeah. Dawn says, funny enough, my voice is going. I'm doing a U now soon.
I'm locked up and mate. That's why I can talk normally at the moment.
Oh, because you drunken hot Ribena.
I've had my hot Ribena already.
Now,
You've just triggered half the chat, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Sorry. What have I triggered in the chat? Oh, it's just a wall of text from me. What is it?
Would you like me to read it?
Please. That'd be much appreciated.
Okay, where we get to. I mean, I read as far as. Well, oh, yeah, so Welshie says she struggles to image things in her mind. I mean, that is normal. I've got a lot of friends who I've had this very same conversation with. That they cannot, in their mind's eye, see someone's face. Even if they're talking to me and they shut their eyes, they can't see my face. That is. It's just we're all wired differently. This is off memory and it falls under lucid dream. Oh yeah, so we went into that. I was able to. Meg says she was able to lucid dream really easily, but she had bad sleep paralysis too. Oh god, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. Because you can't
There's
move.
No paralysis, is there? Funnily enough, 50% of people have done it, if on purpose or by accident. This is Torn now saying you're delving into astral projecting. Oh my god,
What's
yeah.
astral projecting?
It's when you come out your body and you can see yourself sleeping. You're like flying above yourself. And you
Oh,
can
an
see-
out of body experience.
Yeah.
Now, thank you for the
Yeah.
follow. Kanita, I'm never going to get these names right. Thank you for the follow, that person. There you go. That's what I'm going to do from now on.
Kanito.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I messed up that name too. Don't worry. It took 5 minutes for the penny to drop.
For clarification, I can't spell my full name. That's how bad my dyslexia is. But now thinking about it, I can't see words in my head. Like-
Okay.
Like if I put the word, let's just say light bulb, say, can you see that word in your head spelled out?
I can spell it and I can see a light bulb.
Yeah, see, I can see a light bulb, but I can't see the word light bulb in my head, like floating there. I can't see that. So I think that's where like I can see stuff, but I can't see words. Where like she said she can't see faces, but she might be able to do something else as such.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a random Bill for the follow.
Good
Yeah.
afternoon, Bill.
Also, I know my voice is really going today. I'm turning the heater off. I know a lot of people in the chat are like they've got different usernames, but I will be referring you to what your username is because I will not be able to remember everybody. And apologies, that's just my bad memory. So, because I know Christian has a different name to actual username.
Yeah, Kristen's K-Leg, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna fall flat on my face. So apologies for that.
You got us.
Um,
You could...
Hmm.
That's right, you got us. It's all right.
That's fine. But yeah, the whole outer body experience thing, I remember watching a video on a guy talking about it. And he said that when he got to that point where he was about to be an outer body experience, his body just started to shake. And that kind of made me scared to even try and do something like that. I don't know how you go about doing that.
It sounds terrifying, personally.
Yeah,
But
it
that
does.
and Pen, have you seen
Yes, I have.
what,
Seen.
is Insidious, is it?
The film where they're astral projecting. It's Insidious.
Yeah, and it's basically Darth Maul's. Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Insidious, but it's like Darth Maul's a demon, and that old woman ends up in that guy's body or something.
Yeah.
So is it
Yeah,
basically
that
body swapping as such?
it's like a malevolent spirit because he's kind of wandered off from his body. She goes, "Oh, a vessel," and hops in, and that's Insidious too.
Yeah, but I will never want to astral project because I'll just be worried about demons coming and taking over my body.
I mean, more is rubbish. So
Well, they wouldn't get very far with world domination with mine.
yeah, if a demon took over my body, because enjoy not having any dairy.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile,
Enjoy
you're...
no cheese for you.
Oh dear. Speaking of food, I watched a replay of one of your live streams, Sin, and you were talking about gravy.
No. Oh no. What are you doing? Don't bring it up now.
What am I doing? I'm making conversations. What I'm doing.
What, of Gravy Gate? No,
Yeah,
not again.
Gravy Gate. Okay, should we go on? I'm sorry, I'm stealing your content at the moment. I just realised.
How can you steal your content when I'm sat right here in your stream?
Okay, fair enough. About pizza. Yeah, on pizza, I don't like what's it called? Pineapple on pizza, personally.
Not pineapple, then.
Hmm?
Are you team not pineapple?
I'm not pineapple.
Okay.
I'm not, that's a quick. Can you do hashtags in chat?
Of course you can.
Okay, because then we can do like voting on things like that. Actually, can't I set votes on here? Hang
Set
on.
a thing.
Yeah, can I do that?
I've never done one, so I don't actually
No,
know.
I know. I was watching.
Oh,
Yeah, I could do. Yeah, straw poll or something. Pineapples belong. Yes, what it is.
yeah. So basically, for context, last Saturday, it started off that Rose, someone we know, decided to try and trigger me by telling me roast dinners were rubbish. And I vehemently object to that because I personally I'm partial to a roast dinner. And then it turned into gravy, then pineapple, then coconut. In fact, I'm glad and I remember saying it at the time. Rose also said she doesn't like cups of tea, and I said if Wolf and Welshie were here, that this would be a throwdown.
Oh dear.
And then I think and somewhere along the way, I revealed that I like hot ribena. Basically, me and Torn ended up at loggerheads.
See,
And yeah,
my mother likes hot orange and blackcurrant and stuff, but I've never had hot ribena specifically.
that was lovely.
I will have
yeah,
to try it now.
Meg didn't like mushrooms, and I think that was the punctuation at the end of the 40-minute food rant from last week. So
I thought it was brilliant. I wish I was there live when I was watching it. It was absolutely brilliant.
well, when Torn stream later, I think I'm going to purposely have a mug of hot ribena, just sit there drinking the camera, just to annoy him.
Do you want to borrow the tea cam for that? Oh, dear. You have a ribena cam instead.
No, mine will be on a green screen. It'll just be a mug of ribena floating in the universe.
Maybe you should do an intro of you actually heating up the Ribena.
Oh, that's clever.
Mate, yeah.
I like
you
that.
know what? You right back screen. I'll just have a little montage of me making a hot ribena
Just,
Yes.
rather than a magic trick.
And just loop it.
Yes. Just trigger everyone who hates hot Ribena.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
what you could have gone down the route of what goes in the cup of tea first,
Teabag.
because some people put milk in with the tea bag and stuff.
I don't understand that. I mean, I understand, like, if you've got a pot of tea and a cup, I can understand putting milk in first and then pouring the tea in. But I can't understand putting milk on a tea bag. Is that what
Milk in-
people do?
It's only acceptable if you have a teapot with brewed tea in it.
Yes.
That is the only possible, combination of putting milk in first, which is deemed acceptable. Anything else, you should be sent to a gulag.
Someone just put no, you burn the beep in milk. I don't think Torn likes milk. And then Welshie put don't put milk in first. I think the theory behind the milk in a tea bag cup of tea, if that makes sense, is the milk will block the tea bag. I think.
But why would you want to block the tea bag? Don't you want the tea goodness to, like, flow out?
I mean, that's what you're not meant to do, sorry.
Ah.
You put the
Yeah,
milk
because
in, last.
Yeah, I would have thought it would stop the tea from
Mhm.
from integrating with the water as well.
I thought the reason for not putting the milk in first is because it's wrong.
That is well.
Yeah, that too.
Fundamentally wrong.
Just
So,
fundamentally incorrect.
Yeah.
and going back to the teapot, I think like the teapot is like its number of scoops plus one for the pot thing, and then like you said, you put the milk in the teapot, not teapot, in the cup, then pour the pre-brewed tea into it. And I
Yeah.
think the idea is then the cup has been cooled, so the tea is not absolutely boiling. But again, I just see the word "it is wrong" in the chat. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Putting milk in first is basically a jailable offence.
Yes, unless you're doing like a proper tea brew sort of thing.
I mean, the only drink I can think where you put milk in first is if you're making hot chocolate, isn't it? Because you put the milk in with the cocoa powder, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you put your
Well-
hot water in.
Yeah, you heat the milk and then you add the cocoa powder.
Right. I mean, I obviously I don't drink that, but I see people do them at work. So
My mother recently got instant hot chocolate, right? And I was putting milk in it, and she very firmly said to me, "No, you don't put milk in it." And I
Well-
made it, and I was like, "But it looks way too dark." And I read the packet; it just says "add hot water." So I'm assuming.
Well, if it's something like options, like Cadbury's options, they do have milk in the mixture.
And I'm assuming it's a powdered milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm assuming Sin, you still can't have that.
no, I mean even the like Nescafe have those instant cappuccinos. I can't have them. The whey powder they put in it. I used to get them at work and wonder why I felt awful. Then I read the packet and it contains whey powder, and I'm like, well, can't drink them anymore.
You would have thought someone would come up with like a man-made version of, for lack of a better term, synthetic milk.
Yeah, it's called coffee, mate.
Oh, okay. Because you get synthetic oils and stuff.
Yeah,
which,
absolutely. I don't know why they have to use it in instant coffees, because it marginalises people like me.
Mhm.
So oat milk, yeah. I mean, I have soy milk at home. I've just got used to soy milk. I mean, I understand soy milk is another thing that splits a room. I
Actually,
quite like soy milk. It reminds me of Chinese sweets, the white rabbit sweets. I don't know if you ever had the white rabbit sweets, because they're made with soya.
yes.
That if you make a milky cup of tea using soy milk and you put sugar in your tea, it's like drinking white rabbit.
I'm literally making a note about this.
Yeah, but again, that's unsweetened soy milk. If you sweeten soy milk, then it's different. But almond milks, I don't mind almond milk, oat milk, and all the dairy alternatives. I mean, that's the one good thing about the in the last sort of 10 years, the whole hipster movement is that there is a lot more dairy alternatives because of the whole militant vegan nonsense. So
Yeah.
apologies if everyone is a vegan here. I'm not trying to incite a riot, but for people like me who can't have dairy, my options of having other foodstuffs have opened up significantly.
Nut milk. Oh, God's sake! Why did I read that? Torn.
No,
The one thing I read in chat. I should know better. Oh dear.
no, he was drinking an innocent smoothie thing made with nut milk.
'Cause
On the
I-
video.
Yeah, but it's the sheer fact he put a winky face afterwards, and it's like,
Yeah, we got all the smut out in the video. I think.
I'm
think.
not happy. I'm not happy. I'll take the tea away. All right, I'm using it as a bribery tool now to blackmail you. I'll take the tea away. Look, I'll take it away. See,
No,
you can have
confiscating
half the tea now.
Someone's OCD. Someone coming in with OCD
Oh
will
God,
see that
damn it.
absolutely triggered by the tea can.
Thing is, on the cap you can't see on here, like all the tea rings on here.
Yes, you can.
Oh God
Yeah.
damn it, you can. Okay. I was hoping the camera wasn't high res enough to.
Well, you should have cleaned it first before going live.
I know. Alright, I'm lazy. Leave me alone. Oh, there.
Now you're sponsored by Kex.
Sponsored by
That-
who?
That shop, Kex, CEX. I pronounce it Kex, but I saw an advert and they pronounce it Sex, and
Yes.
I'm just too immature to pronounce it as Sex without going full on Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah,
Kane loves,
right,
Kane loves to pronounce that shop name. He'll do it when he's walking down the street
that's
and just
mar-
say, "We're going to the sex shop."
that is marketing for you. There's an audio company that sell like audio amplifiers, and they're called, oh god, it's gone from my head, brain. Why now? I think
Marshall.
it's no, it's it. I think it's shit, but it's spelt differently. But at a glance, it looks like the word shit. Yeah, it's called shit, but it's spelt with a C, I think, or something like that, and it's part of their marketing.
I've seen it a lot that if a store's closing down, they always write final reduction, but the capital F and the I are so close together,
Mm.
you walk past it and it looks like ANAL, and I'm like, pardon?
Yeah, there is cool marketing tricks you can do like that are very clever.
You got some shit from.
What has happened at the chat?
That was Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his audio equipment. It's literally like it's called shit audio or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, SCHIT. Yeah, it's very clever.
Smart sells at the end of the day. It does.
Yeah.
It's well backed.
It's like what's that brand? Supreme. Do you know about Supreme? It's basically like take something like Nike and times it by 10 of marketing and like limited edition stuff. Like they sold a crowbar with their name on it, and it was like 20 grand or something ridiculous. It's just
Wait, what?
yeah. So there's two ways. Like I'm going to go on a rant here for a second.
Go for it.
There's two ways to sell things, right? One, you make absolutely loads of them and sell them at a reasonable price. Take tea, for example. You make loads of tea and it works out at like pence a cup. Or you make 10 tea bags and sell them at £500,000 each. They don't cost £500,000 to make, but people will buy them because they're limited edition. And that irritates me. If there's no reason for it to be a limited edition, why? And that's what Supreme does. It only lets people buy like one item, or they only make 10 of them, and it just puts the price so far up there, it just becomes a false market at that point. And that does annoy me. Yeah, because unless it's like, the only example I can think off the top of my head of why something could be limited edition is if there's only that one, I don't know, particular plant in the world that makes that tea. Then that makes sense. You're going to pay a premium for it. But not when it's just like, I don't know, a pair of trainers. And it's just, yeah, that really does irritate me. Yeah.
Isn't marketing just convincing people that their product, they want that product that they're selling? Regardless of whether they need it or not, it's convincing people that they need it.
Marketing is basically psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a phrase I remember that you can't make someone do something. You can only make them want to do something. So. What's chat got to say?
How many psychologists it takes to change a light bulb? One, but the light bulb has to want to change, isn't it? Or
I thought you were going to say like the psychologist gets someone else to do it.
oh, that would be a better joke.
Yeah, be a very good psychologist.
Absolutely.
Actually, no, they'd be a bad one because they're making people do their bidding, and at that point, I don't think they're a psychologist.
It's more. It's bordering on Yuri from Command and Conquer. Yeah. What else do you have in your agenda today, then, Mr. Wolf?
I don't know. Hang on. I said about the movie editing. Hang on, let me go through my notebook back to some really old ones. These are from Halloween.
It's alright. Still relevant unless we're just going to talk about pumpkins.
Well, I can change this one. What Christmas traditions was one of the subjects I had. Like, what if... I know what just happened in this country, but still I'm going to bring it up. if what? How do I word this? Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without ... basically.
Tin of Roses.
Tin of Roses. For me, it's pigs in blankets.
Roast potatoes.
Oh, roast
Although I know that's every Sunday for a lot of people. But...
Now, roast potatoes, I've heard is it goose fat or something, tastes really nice?
Not 100% goose fat. They become very cloy. I speak from experience here. That I cooked the goose once.
Oh, yes, you
Christmas.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, segregated all the goose fat off, and I literally made the basting tray, which had all the fat in it, just goose fat, and the potatoes. I couldn't finish them. They just made me feel ill. They were just too.
Too much.
Yeah, they were too greasy.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
and that
It's definitely pigs in blankets for me. I don't know why. Like, I won't have tons of them. I'll probably have 4.
Do you not have pigs in blankets any other time of year?
No. It's always been a Christmas thing for us.
It's a chipolata with a bit of streaky bacon wrapped around it. You can literally make it. I mean, I make it throughout the year because I like it.
I went to the local shop the other day, and because of the current situation, I was in and out as quickly as possible. And I thought, I don't know if anybody's ever else done this, or just me being weird. You see something on the shelf, and you're like, I've been wanting to buy them for donkeys, or you didn't know they sold them, and these were macaroni cheese wrapped up in like batter. I don't know the correct term for them. And I'm sure I saw them there, and I'm sure I picked that packet up. But when I got home, they were what are they called, fish cakes, and I was the most disappointed I'd been all week. And I was like, I was looking forward to this macaroni cheese wrapped in batter. I remember having it in a restaurant one. It was gorgeous, and I don't know if it's just me that does that, or I'm just blind as a bat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So what did you think they were?
I thought they were macaroni cheese that's wrapped in batter and what's it called? Breadcrumbs.
Right. Okay. So like a fritter.
I think so. But I've only had them once in a restaurant, and I've never been able to find them like not in a restaurant.
Well, why don't you make them?
Because I'm crap at cooking. No, I need to learn. That is something I need to do.
I mean, I've always got a bag of breadcrumbs in my cupboard because, yeah, I well, Wiener Schnitzels are my favourite things I cook, and that needs breadcrumbs, so that's all in hand. But going back to roast potatoes, Hen, do you only have roast potatoes at Christmas dinner, or do you associate them with Christmas?
I just associate them with Christmas, I think, because my family in the past were never ones to have like roast dinner on Sundays or anything like that. So roast potatoes really were just for Christmas, really. So that's why I associate them with that, really. Of course, you also have to have your tree.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. With the tree, I mean, certainly like when you like moved out of home, did you like ever pinch any of your parents' decorations because you associate it with your Christmas rather than that family's Christmas? Or was that being a thieving little toe rag?
See, that makes sense though.
Yeah, I can see where you're going there, and there are definitely some decorations I should steal. Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe when I go back, whenever I'm allowed to, I'll just be like, can I just have a look at the Christmas decorations? I just want to see them.
In 3 weeks' time, there'd be a front page with a Nito on it.
If your mum's house jacket just full of like bauble stuff in the pocket, go, nothing to see here, like Great Escape.
Dear.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be interesting, won't it?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Just the oddest heist ever. Just a bag of baubles.
I say this because there is a bauble which I had as a kid, and it actually is in 2 halves. You can put it open and you can put a treat inside it, but it has my name on it. And
That's cool.
and last year I remember seeing my mum's tree, and I actually pocketed it. You know, this sounds like a weird bit of theft, but I kind of walked past it and went, I kind of drew ownership on a bauble because it has my name in it, and I was like, well, I feel justified because my name is on it.
Well, that's how it goes, isn't it? I mean, if your name is on it, then it's yours. That's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works in the law. Pretty sure
Yeah,
that is canon.
So all
I
the
know. It's weird that I just lifted it and I'm looking at it. I'm just staring at our tree right now. It's like staring back at me, going, "You're a thief. You're a dirty thief." But I was like, I feel justified because my name's on it. So
someone in the chat mentioned English mustard, and I like English mustard, but only a tiny bit. And I recently found out you can get like a weaker version of it or something. So whoever that was in chat, just something to keep in mind. I haven't bought it myself yet. Sorry for the noise. Cling clang 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 clang.
What is that tinkling?
That's the flask.
Ah,
putting the
I
lid
see,
back
of
on it.
course.
it's got a top up.
Tea needed a top up. So
That's fair enough.
Took it off the camera in case he saw us putting the milk in first.
what about sugar? Do I have sugar? That's a question, chat. Do you have sugar in your tea or not?
Ooh.
Ooh. Same for coffee. Do you have sugar in your coffee?
Yes to coffee, no to tea.
No to coffee, no to tea.
Interesting. But then again, I have black tea, black coffee.
Yeah.
I was going to say black tea. You're hardcore.
Well, it depends. If we've got soy milk, I have a normal brew. But I mean, I like Rooibos or Red Bush.
That's the one I was going to buy. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Red,
yeah,
Red
I
Bush.
can do a pen writing in a notebook right now. Yeah, Red Bush
Yes.
tea.
This is the whole
It's-
point of
I
this.
I like it, but someone once put soy milk in it and it was horrid.
You can't put soy milk in Red Bush tea.
Same as green tea. Green tea, just leave it as a tea bag of water. That's all you need for a green tea.
Yeah.
Or peppermint tea. You wouldn't put milk in a peppermint tea because that would just be gross.
You know, I would hope no one would, but I can see someone being like, "This is a great idea. This will make peppermint cream."
Peppermint
And then be
cream.
bitterly disappointed.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't want to keep dwelling on hot drinks though. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of hot drinks, and it's really weird when you work in an office. There's almost like there's an expectation that you partake in hot drinks, which I'm pretty sure half the time is to basically, conscript you to making tea for the entire office, so that they don't have to get up as often. But I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. And then, and then I'm like, nope, water fountain is just fine.
Peppermint tea I find too strong, as in the peppermint taste is so strong, it's like I put 20 mints in my mouth. I find.
Oh, hang on.
Going back.
Do you not like? Sorry, go on.
No, go on. Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you don't like the taste of peppermint generally, or is it just peppermint tea that you find too strong?
I think I just find peppermint tea too strong, which now makes me think I should just have like a cup, 2 cups of it, and just dilute that 1 tea bag so it's a bit weaker.
Well, yeah, that could work.
Yeah,
Just dilute it. I mean,
Yeah, I'll have to try
could-
that.
yeah, just show the tea bag the water. You know.
Threaten it with a boiling cup of water.
Yeah, exactly. Just dip its little corner in.
Stand there with a revolver, spinning the rover. Is today your day? Zzz, click. Oh dear. Threatening. We've gotten to threatening tea now.
Well, you know, the tea, yeah. Sometimes you have to threaten the tea. It's just a sad truth.
Oh dear. The tea. What was it? Not Twinings. It was another tea someone mentioned the other day when I was streaming. It was.
Whittards. Whittards. Tetley.
Tetley.
Uh,
Tetley biscuit tea. I think it was. Was it Tetley?
It was some kind of biscuit tea. I
It
can't
was-
remember
it
who
was
mentioned
biscuit
it.
tea. Someone in
it
chat, biscuit
Torn?
tea. What was it? I think it was Torn, yeah, like you said. And then someone mentioned those biscuits that were. What were they? Mince pie flavour or something?
Christmas pudding
Christmas
flavored
pudding.
digestives. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Christmas pudding digestives. I mean,
Yuck. This is a bit weird.
yeah. I like both, but someone I used to work with, you know, you get the chocolate digestive biscuits. They were
Yeah.
they said this was mad, but they were adamant it tasted different. You take two chocolate digestives, and you put them chocolate to chocolate together, dip them in your tea, and apparently they taste 10 times better than just the normal one. Which
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I could believe that because you're getting twice the chocolate and twice the biscuit. I mean, who's going to complain about that?
It's like you're trying to forge weld two biscuits together.
Exactly, the ultimate biscuit.
But haven't you
Lord of the
described
biscuits.
cream? Isn't a Bourbon cream two biscuits forged together with some chocolate?
Oh, bourbon. I haven't had a bourbon biscuit in ages.
Yeah, but the difference is that they're made to be one thing.
Mm.
It's so different when you put two biscuits that aren't meant to be one biscuit together. It's just
It's like a battered Mars bar.
yeah.
Have you ever had one?
No, I can't. Like a Mars bar, I find it way too sickly. Like, I can't finish a Mars bar in one sitting. It's just too sickly for me.
It's different when it's battered. It's kind of a bit like a chocolate-filled donut.
Mm.
That the kind of the overarching sweetness of the Mars bar is kind of offset by the fried unhealthy batterness.
Offset.
It is. It's hard to explain, but it is quite nice. But it's the same way as when you get those like spring rolls from a Chinese takeaway when you walk back from the pub. They're just a little too big.
Mm.
Have you guys seen the thread on Twitter mocking English people for having chip sandwiches?
Yes, I have.
I haven't.
Yes, I have, and I think I've contributed my ire towards such ignorance
Now,
because chip butties are amazing.
just to clarify, because I think we have some Americans in the chat, are we talking chips potato? Oh no, that's not going to work. Chips as in cooked in the oven chips, or Americans crisps?
If you want it done right, chip shop chips.
Yes.
Chips from a chip shop, which you normally have with your fish. If you leave some to one side and the next day you nuke them, stick them in a sandwich, boom, that is top eating.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
Not
I just-
fried. Yeah, the argument I saw was someone was putting fries in it. I go, well, that's not a chip butty then.
No.
That's fried 2 bits of bread.
A crisp sandwich, though, I like as well.
Oh, yeah?
Incredibly
crisp
unhealthy, but
Depends on the crisps, though.
I was just going to say what flavour, because logically plain, but
Mm-hmm.
salt and vinegar, I do
Salt and
like
vinegar.
salt and vinegar.
Salt
Cheese
and vinegar
and
and a ham
onion.
sandwich.
See, the problem I have with cheese and onions is I'm paranoid after eating them that my breath stinks, which is just completely silly, but
I don't
know.
worry about that. I don't see anyone.
That's what chewing gum's for, isn't it?
That's
True,
true.
but you could apply the same logic to any food, but for some reason I apply it more to cheese and onion. Don't know why.
Is it because of the onion aspect?
It might be. It
So
might
if
be.
you went into Greg's and got a cheese and onion slice, would you
No,
equally be
I-
paranoid?
no, I wouldn't. That's the stupid part of it. It's completely illogical.
Thank you, Kristen. Yeah.
I mean, Greg's I saw the other day was just added to Just Eat, and I'm thinking of all the restaurants available. If I was opening my Just Eat app now, if I go in there, there's all these different restaurants. You get lovely Indian restaurants, Chinese restaurants, places that do. I mean, I like doner kebabs. You know, there's a couple of grills around me. The last thing I'd look for is Greg's because I wouldn't sit there and go, you know what, I've got all these options and I'll go for a sausage roll.
I just
No
had-
disrespect to Greg's, but I wouldn't have that for dinner.
No, Greg's is like, oh, I'm walking past Greg's. I'll grab a ... Yeah, it's not. I'm gonna order this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not for dinner. I mean, it's kind of I need a bite to eat. Like if I work out on site for my job, and I'll see a Greg's, I will kind of make a mental poll in my head where it was, so I can go back and get it. I suppose for lunch, but for Just Eat is sort of like you got a lot of food in bulk. You wouldn't get a lot of food in bulk from Greg. You wouldn't go in there and come out with 8 pasties. And if you do, you need to look at your life choices. But I mean,
What, you can order Greg's on Just Eat now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can only assume that it's for as as CJ says, there is for the lunch menu. But I mean, I just wouldn't think to have Greg's as an evening meal. That's just me.
No, I think that's probably
No.
because of current
It's not,
situations why it's on there
not
now.
substantial.
I did see something. Okay, so chips means crisps mean chips for us Americans. Correct. Crisps are potato. Oh, this is not going to work because they're both made from
Yeah.
potatoes.
Yeah, that is correct though.
Yeah.
The Americans call our crisps chips
Mm-hmm.
and our chips fries.
Yeah, because I remember being in America going, I'll just have a packet of chips, or packet of crisps, or chips. I can't remember which round I got it, but I'm confusing myself now. And I just got looked at weird, because I was just like this
Yeah.
little thing that just sold like drinks and packets of chips and stuff. And I just want a packet of chips. They're like, what? What? And then it's only then when I walked off I realised what had happened. So, Torn,
Millie's
that's
Cookies is on Deliveroo. My God.
there's cookies.
Millie, there used to be a Millie's Cookie stand in Southampton in the big shopping centre, but it's not there anymore.
I don't think we've got a Millie Cookies where I am.
Yeah, they used to have that, and that was really good. And then they closed down. Then they had Cinnabon, and that was somehow better because you could walk off with a really large cinnamon roll. Oh my God.
Cinnamon rolls.
Me and my sister used to go there and we look at it and go, $5 each? Yep. Go and walk off with a giant cinnamon roll.
Those,
That sounds amazing.
you know, you can get the cinnamon rolls that you put in the oven and they like take what 5-10 minutes, however long it
Oh,
is.
yeah, Just Roll do
Oh,
some.
they're so nice.
They're lovely.
Just Roll do some really good ones because they do croissants and they also do chocolate pans, pan au chocolats.
This has become very, very, very luxurious all of a sudden. Just want to point that out. Adding cinnamon
I'll do
rolls.
that.
Can I ask,
Mm-hmm.
what is you guys and the chat's default takeaway? Like, if you're going to have a takeaway to treat yourself, what do you get
From anywhere, I take it.
from anywhere? You can have anything, but it has to be something you would take away and like have delivered to your house. What is your default?
I actually genuinely like doner kebabs. And I don't have to be drunk. I know that the stigma of a doner kebab is you have one when you're basically absolutely plastered and you stumble out of the pub, but I genuinely like doner kebab. So, I mean, doner meat and chips with the side salad is lovely.
I'd say just chips and a saveloy probably is my default.
Battered or not battered?
I used to go with the not battered, but now I'm go with the batter because
Converted.
yeah, I've been converted. You know, some chip shops will do just I think they call them bits or something. You know, just the batter.
Oh, scraps.
That's it, scraps. Yeah, you can have them. They're nice. I'd say that's my default. I couldn't tell you what my default Chinese is because I can never remember it. I've got it like on a note in the house somewhere. It's like, can I have this one, this one, this one, this one? And I know it's all the stuff I like. So
Spare ribs, roast pork chow mein, or duck. I do like duck.
I've only had duck once, and it was crispy duck, and it was absolutely gorgeous.
Aromatic crispy duck with the pancakes, was it? With the hoisin sauce?
No, this was at a like an all-you-can-eat sort of thing, and they just had duck there. And I thought, well, now's a good opportunity to try it, because I could have a small scoop of it, and if I didn't like it, it wasn't wasted. Because I hate to waste food, so yeah. That's only
Duck's an acquired taste. I know a lot of people who don't like duck. And I understand that. It is an acquired taste. It's just I particularly like duck.
I couldn't eat duck because we used to have a pet duck.
I get that.
Yeah, see that ruins it. It's the same way I wouldn't eat rabbit.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat rabbit either for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah, yeah, well, yeah. The fact that your logo is a bunny, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. I think pizza has won in the chat, kind of.
I'm just looking through.
Yeah, Pete. Look, I completely understand that. Yeah, pizza is a perennial choice. It's certainly when I was at uni, there was a lot of pizza. I mean, we actually convinced the takeaway down the road from where we lived at uni to put doner meat on a pizza, and I was happy.
Oh yeah, they do that around here. You can get a doner meat on a pizza from any takeaway. Pretty
So
much around
good, though.
here.
So good. It's horrendous, but it's so good.
Oh,
Torn is coming for my family. I don't like it.
oh, I shouldn't be laughing, but I am. Oh.
You saying the word scoop was basically my next question was. I mean, everyone likes ice cream. What is your ice cream of choice?
Vanilla.
Is what?
Vanilla, I think.
I thought you said vinegar. I was like,
Yeah, I take an ice cube and pour vinegar on it. It's lovely.
Oh,
Absolutely lovely. Then I have a packet of salt and vinegar crisps as well. But then I have some
yeah,
cheese and onion
sticking out
buns.
like a flake. Sticking out. Chipsticks.
Oh.
What about you, Hen?
Mine used to be mint chocolate chip, but
Ooh.
I've moved on to peanut butter ice cream now. I'm
Oh,
addicted.
Peanut butter ice cream.
God, yes.
Yes,
Hmm.
I'm into the salty sweet things at the moment.
So a salted caramel ice cream would also be a preference of yours, would it?
No, because I've never had a salted caramel that actually had a taste of salt in any way.
It was just caramel.
It's just caramel. It's just sweet. I eat it and I'm like, what's the point in saying salt? You're just getting my hopes up and then disappointing me.
Was it reduced salt maybe?
Well,
No salt, yeah.
No
maybe my problem was I should get it out and then just sprinkle salt on it.
Well,
Oh.
me personally, yeah, mint choc chip is up there. Although of late, you say peanut butter again. I've had a dairy-free peanut butter one, which was gorgeous, which was Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
I think it's Oppo do a vegan one, which is they use almond milk, and they've done a raspberry ripple. And Mike, I forgot how much I like raspberry ripple.
So, Sin, you can't have milk, yeah?
Yeah, I can't eat normal ice cream.
Oh, okay, I was just going to say I got confused from it. That's fine.
Yeah, no, Ben and Jerry's do a vegan ice cream, and one of the ones is peanut butter and cookies, and it's so good.
It is.
It's dangerous. But before I became afflicted, and this is the hot take here, which I was alluding to, it's my grandfather's fault. This, I used to like rum and raisin.
Yes, rum raisin.
Rum
Awesome.
raisin.
Yes.
Yeah, rum and raisin ice cream. I used to love it. You used to go into if you went down to Cornwall or Devon, and you go into those shops and they've got all the scoops laid out in front of you. Rum and raisin was one of my favourites. And everybody I know, apart from Hen now, hates rum and raisin.
I'm gonna have to. The thing is, I can't. I have my teeth are far from good. Let's be honest with them. So I have really sensitive teeth. So if I eat ice cream, it's like it's gonna hurt. So I don't have ice cream very often, and when I do, it's a stark reminder of why I don't.
Do you Sensodyne, Wolf?
Yeah, but
Don't rinse your mouth out then. Leave it. Just spit it out and then just go to bed.
so the
Don't-
issue, we've gone on to doctors now, but it's the issue of, like, if I want my teeth to look whiter, as in, look nicer, I go with normal toothpaste, but then I don't get the Sensodyne, because Sensodyne doesn't make my teeth look whiter; they make them look yellower. It's like my teeth are fucked, for lack of a better term.
Swore.
Yeah.
Swore. Welsh
haven't-
people
You
yellow card
haven't
out.
sworn once, have you, on this?
No.
Any of them?
Only when I've pronounced the speakers which Kane had. Technically is the only time I've sworn, but I have mitigating circumstances.
God damn it!
Yep. Welsh is going to come in with the yellow card now.
Yeah.
No, because the thing was, though, I respect your stream, mate. This is your style. I don't. My stream is just full of obscenities, and this for me is like a holiday.
Now, I was going to bring this up, and I hope you don't mind me bringing this up. You can shut me down as soon as if you want to. But how in God's name do you get away with having the Museum of Arse? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. I saw the last one. I was like, how did Twitch not take that down? But I don't know Twitch's full terms and conditions.
Because it's
Is it because it's a game and it's not
because it's
classed as
just-
that?
because you can argue that you could have a flashed bum at any stage in a modern game, or what
Mhm.
are they going to say for that? Like, well, this whole started from the completion of Dante's Inferno, which I'm really pleased that Hen's here as well.
Yep.
Because at the end of it, it was Kristen and Hen were still in, and you see Dante's bare bottom, and I asked them to rate it. That's how it started. But that was organic. That was part of the game. That was the ending.
I remember watching the back, and I was cleaning the house at the time, and I just turned around and it's on my phone. It's like, what? Whoa, hang on a minute, what's this? But yeah, you wouldn't get away with it on YouTube, I don't think.
No, I don't think I would. But at the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun. I'm not, I'm not sitting there, and I'm not basically. It's not like live sodomy or anything like that. It's literally a picture of a fictitious character's bottom. That is it. There's nothing.
I was just a bit taken back by it. I was like, I know this thing existed in your streams, and because the reason I'm a little bit disconnected with your streams is because I'm asleep when you stream, so I only have a chance to watch them back every now and then. And it was just like, whoa, okay, that's fine.
I mean, it's just at the end of the day, it's a little gag that I put into my stream because it's funny.
Oh yeah.
It provides a talking point, and it's sort of a bit, as you said, some people looking at, how are you getting away with that? I go, because there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing.
No, it's the context of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I grew up watching Beavis and Butthead. That's my get out clause. That's my answer for everything now.
It gave me an idea of, because you have the Museum of Us, that I could do a live stream or a video depending on what works best, and people in chat can.
What, of your bum?
No. That was another idea I had for you, that you get a bunch of people that we know to do a picture, and everyone has to work out whose is whose.
No, I can't do that. I am not doing that.
See, that's too far. The thing I was going to say is you have, because the Museum of Art, I thought, well, you sort of take the piss out of art, so I thought, I wonder if I could do a live stream where I pick like 100 bits of random art that are really famous, and we just take the piss out of them.
Oh yeah, just don't include the origin of the world.
Origin of the world? Oh, the art piece Origin of the World.
Yeah, the painting, the origin of the world, the origin.
I'm going to have to look this up, because I
Don't
don't know.
you?
No, I don't.
You've not seen it.
I may when I see the picture of it. Origin of the World.
Lots of Pre-Raphaelite sort of has,
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I see why.
Yeah, that's the origin of the world.
I'm going to
Yes.
have to Google this now.
Uh,
I'm just
make
in my
sure
head,
you're-
I've got Dali. Salvador
Sin,
Dali in my head.
maybe not have your screen on show when you Google that.
Okay,
As I know you have mini-me's running around.
I do. Images.
There's a piece of art I do like.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I was like, be cautious with that. I know it's art, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, flip. Okay.
What? Anito might be able to help me with the name of this one. I know the picture, but I couldn't name it. It's the one with the ship being towed away with the modern steam tug. It's a really famous painting.
Oh.
You know the one? I can't think what it's called. Hang on, I'll just put in ship being towed away.
Yeah, I know the one you mean, but
University challenge.
I can't remember what it was called. I can't even remember the name of the artist.
I found the picture, but because it's such an interesting picture. Someone's named it here a big bloopy big ship. I don't think that's the name.
I don't think that's the name.
Oh, found the Wikipedia page. Here we go. The Frightened Tambud. The Fighting. I can't say it.
Rare.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Turner. J.M.W. Turner.
Oh
1838.
god, of course it was Turner. Bloody hell.
Can I? Actually, let's just see if I can.
Why is this controversial then?
Well, it's not controversial. Ooh. Did I just break TCAM?
No, TCAM's still going.
Hang on. Are you sure you want to move TCAM? Yes. Okay, I thought I could copy and paste an image straight into OBS, but I can't. What the earth is going on in chat? I've just looked over at it.
I think they were laughing at the idea of bums.
Oh dear. Oh no, it might be the first.
Not even for charity. Am I basically flashing me? I don't know where I was going.
Taunts a bit of Moaning Lisa. Right, the Mona Lisa is only famous because it was stolen in the 1900s. It's only reason it's famous. All right, that really bugs me. Just
Not the Craig McLaughlin song then.
don't know.
Show me age.
But yeah, I'm going to go with this now. The art thing. The piece of art is. I must be able to bring this up on stream somehow.
Save the image, and then create in your sources on the scene. Just create a image.
Oh yeah, that'll work, won't it?
You could just have a floating image then.
Image.
So well, this is cool. We're critiquing art. I mean, Hen is my Hen because we've got Chris. For me, for when I do the museum, I mean, I love everyone being there, but for me, I love having Hen and Kristen there because they are the reason that sort of feature exists. Oh,
So
here's the.
This is the piece of art, and
Is it
I really like this.
Oh yes.
Now, I think the way to do this again is just my idea of it always, you go through, pick a load of art, not the one that Hanita said, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And we just take the piss out of it, and just like, when people go, oh yes, the artist here is, sorry, I'm going to impersonate some people for a moment. The artist here is showing off his struggle throughout his life. It's like, oh, bugger off. He didn't even use a bloody ruler, or he didn't use his bloody pen, or whatever. Like,
You mean trying to find meaning in something which doesn't have meaning?
I've just thought of the title. Yes, what you were saying. The title will be "Is this art?" ? Because
Well, you have art or ask question mark.
yes, if I can steal that.
Of course you can.
Hang on.
Mate, I
What?
have no. I don't have a patent now on it. Go
No,
for
no,
it.
I don't want someone getting annoyed that I stole their title. But in chat, would you call this piece of art? Because I would. Okay.
I don't need to be bridge if you started wearing a top hat when you cut to that particular bit.
I could get it. If you really want, I could get a top hat. I'd have to wait till next payday, but I could get a top hat.
Well, we could always do a stream where we're both on camera, both with top hats, being fancy, if you want.
Because what bugs me is there's artwork out there there's a piece of artwork that's a red square on a canvas and it's sold for several £1,000,000, and that irritates me to no end.
Yeah. But
Whereas,
I mean,
like, this piece, yes, it's not like photographic art, but you got the big ship, which is this giant galleon ship with several hundred guns on it, being towed away by the modern tugboat to be scrapped. And then the sun setting, sort of showing the progression of time, and the ship has reached the end of its life. The sun is setting, but then it also shows the modern times in it. It's showing a change of time, sort of thing. That might have gone a bit deep.
well, that is definitely an interpretation of it. And to be honest, I am clearly a what's the word? A Philistine. I look at that and go, it's a painting.
So would you call it art?
I appreciate that it's art, but I also appreciate the fact that I don't get art.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? The same way with I personally get a better appreciation of like classical music, for example. If I had classical music, I have greater appreciation for something like if you played me something like Holst, for example, I would have a much better appreciation of it than if you showed me a painting and I go, it's a painting. Whereas though when I listen to something like, take for example Mars, Destroyer of Worlds by Holst, I can listen to that and I get a quite deep, meaningful appreciation of it. Whereas with art, I don't have that at all. And I understand why people like it. I just personally don't. That's all.
Well, I would call it art. I mean, I like art, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I did study a bit of art when I was doing my university studies, and that's probably when I got more interested in like the ideas and the concepts behind it. 'Cause it's like Wolf, you said about the red square on,
Yeah, I'm trying to
White.
find it and I can't find it at the moment. But go on.
and it's like a lot of postmodern art, especially, is I don't know how to say it. It's like it's very intellectualized in that it's
What?
got a whole kind of idea behind it.
Hmm.
It's
Right.
like there's. Go on.
I was just taken aback by what Wolf's put on the screen there. I'm like, what the blue hell is that?
Yeah.
So does the art encompass the wall it's attached to?
No, I think that's just
Was
how
it-
they're displaying that.
It's a yellow canvas where someone's look. Now the thing was though, I can't look at something and see it as art if I could do it.
Yes. There's no skill.
It's the same way with the Jackson Pollock. With Jackson Pollock, I go, all right, paint the same thing again, because he's just flicking paint randomly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have respect's the wrong word to use. I don't have an appreciation of it if it's I could do the same with a roller from B&Q.
I'm just gonna check up with chat here because I've lost track of it again. Wolf's triggered. Yes, art is one of those things that actually does trigger me as such. I don't like that term either. Triggered. It annoys me.
You get triggered by the word triggered.
Get triggered by- oh my god, you're bloody right as well. Right here is. Yeah, now this is actually quite good. People are criticising the art that I like, and this is the whole cool part about it. Am I getting too pompous? Maybe I don't know.
No, not at all.
What else is happening in chat? Midnight Sonora over this? I don't know that.
But do you find that some people say that they're really into art and they like art and they delve into it so they could try and it's more says something about them rather than what they like is because they're trying to prove how refined they are. It's the same way as with opera and that. And sometimes it's sort of like, are you liking opera because you liking opera, or do you genuinely like it?
I think you're right. It's like someone.
Or ballet, or
Yeah, it's like. So there's someone you really like and you want to date them. It's like finding out what they like and then going and doing that thing they like. It's that sort of thing where you want to be in that social group, so you do that thing. Does that make sense?
yeah. What you mean? Like, let's say you went on a date and the person you're on a date with is really really into opera, and you go, okay, I'm gonna indulge their interest. I'm gonna go to opera, and you sit there and going, I can't listen to a man the size of a fridge going la 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 for 3 hours. It's personally speaking, I don't like opera. I don't get opera.
Mm.
It's just telling a story. I just don't understand Italian.
That's fair enough.
I mean, that's a very cynical review of the entire genre of opera.
Well, I mean,
Like,
I'm just gonna go out there and say that I really like opera.
Okay,
That's
cool.
fine. I mean, I'm not gonna turn around to someone and say you shouldn't like this. This is just like the same as me. Like people will fully entitled to turn around to me and say like that previous painting is shit. I have no problems with that. It's just that this modern art is just like. And I'm gonna play a game with chat here again. Can you guys guess how much that piece of art sold for? The one that's currently on screen.
God, really?
In millions of dollars. Between $1 million and $100 million. Somewhere in there. And it was in the 1990s.
23 million.
Nope, miles off.
Blimey.
Yeah, you're going to be depressed when you hear this.
106 million.
You're closer. You're closer than Sin. CJ goes with 25 mil. The thing is, when you get into this sort of money, like, yeah, it sold for over $1 million. 95 million we have, 45 million.
When you have a 6-foot piece of canvas, that is basically worth more than the entire national debt of Liberia. Doesn't that just say what's wrong in the world?
Yeah.
276 million, CJ said. CJ, if it was at that point, I would go to that art place and burn the bloody thing. And then call it art, and then I could get away with it.
Well, you could probably could, yeah.
Yes, which is stupid. Okay. $82.5 million in the 1990s. That's all for.
Wow.
Oh
I can think of a lot of better. What would you do with 80? What was it? $82.5 million.
Well, I wouldn't buy a poorly painted Ukrainian flag for a start.
I'd get it in like $1 bills and use it to heat my house because that's more efficient than buying that piece of painting.
I thought you were going down the Scrooge McDuck route then, Wolf. You were
What,
gonna
make
get
a
like
swimming pool? Yes,
and then dive into it.
that's still more efficient than that piece of artwork. It has more usefulness.
It solves yeah, it literally okay.
It's build a hospital for current affairs. There you go. That's probably not enough actually. Yes.
82 million wouldn't even buy you a football club these days.
Let's not go into football. That's another thing that irritates me.
Okay.
Because it's that you can correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know football very well, but my opinion of it is they're just chasing each other into debt and the money just doesn't exist.
Possibly. Well, that's the demise of many clubs, but we're not going to go into that.
No, it's fine. And goodbye to the crap painting.
Yeah.
So that might work out to be a good stream then, possibly.
But something funny, video games are art.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's lots of video games which I have played, which I would quite hand on heart say this is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the one that springs to mind, for me, which I believe is a masterpiece, would be Red Dead Redemption 2. Playing through that, I mean, wasn't so much for the way it played, but the way it looked, the way it made you feel. I would personally put Red Dead Redemption 2, I would class that as a masterpiece.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You know,
Well, I haven't played that, but I've definitely played games that I've thought are art, like the Welcome to Elk and the Stanley Parable.
Yes. Stanley Parable, like, it got a lot of stick when it first came out.
Yeah.
As just being a walking simulator. But it was sold as a walking simulator anyway. So I don't see why it got the stick.
No, I don't know. I guess it just defied people's expectations, but in a way, it was that was what made it really interesting. I mean, it's not something everyone's going to love, I guess, because it was looking at what video games are and what they ask you to do and how your relationship with them exists, and asking you to explore that in a different way, I guess.
I mean, I watched your review of Welcome to Elk. For example.
Yeah.
Again, personally, it was a film. It was a game I've never heard of, but just watching. What was interesting to me wasn't so much necessarily how it looked, was it listening to how it made you feel.
Yeah.
Now that for me was really eye-opening because again, it was a sort of game with the games that I like, I would probably dismiss that. I'd look at it and go, that's not the sort of game I'd want to play. But then listen to your review, it just brought a different perspective, you know, to explore that. The way, I mean, if a game can touch you to that degree, that again, that is a masterpiece.
Yeah, there was a scene in that game where I can't remember the character's name, where you're carrying him. And I think you mentioned, like, it goes on for longer than you expect.
Yes.
That is, like, there's games where characters die, and it's just like, here, that's it, he's gone. And that's it, and the character will fade away. Like, literally, the body of the character will fade away in the game, and that's it. Whereas that does it in a completely different manner. Because I believe you're carrying his head, aren't you, or something?
Yeah, you're supporting his head and his shoulders.
Stanley Parable was brought up in chat, which is another one, which is, it was a bit ahead of its time. It's an interesting game. Have either of you played Stanley Parable?
No.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Is that the one you're in a room and you can't leave for 1,000 years or something?
It does lock you in a room at one point. I can't remember when it does that. But yeah, as Meg points out, it's very meta.
It's good though, because every playthrough I've seen of it is different. And there's one bit that sticks out to me where they go into a cupboard and just stand there.
Oh, the broom closet. I love that. I love the broom closet.
And the narrator goes, I know what's happened. You obviously died or something like that. And he goes, and I'll sit here and wait for someone else to come along. And then someone else, like you pretend to be someone else coming along, he goes, right, welcome. And like, the narrator never loses hope at that bit.
Yeah.
It's like the narrator's clinging on, like, please do something, please. It's very, very well done.
Yeah. I loved that game so much. I actually played it to get all the achievements, which was the first time I'd ever bothered to do that with a game, because to be honest, I see achievements as kind of a waste of time most of the time.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was like, the only game I've really chased achievements for was the Saboteur, and that's purely to get more hours out of it.
It was a great game though.
Yeah, that was the only one of the few games I got all the way to platinum on PS3 with, because I just wanted more of it. But they never made any more of it. It's one of those things where they make one good game and that's it. It's dead. It's done. It's gone.
That was actually the first series of yours that I watched on YouTube, actually, Wolf. Was the Saboteur. And it kind of... There was enough time had passed that I'd forgotten enough of it that I could enjoy watching you play it.
Yes, and I think that's why I played it when I did. Because, again, I had forgotten myself. Like, I keep saying in that series, like, I forgot about this mission, or I forgot about this, or I'm misremembering it. And it was a nice surprise to have missions that I'd completely forgotten about and I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was just lovely.
All I remember from that game was I used to, like, stealth kill all the Gestapo just so I could have the coat.
I didn't know that was a thing.
So you could sneak up behind someone and, like, kill them, but as long as you don't shoot them, that's why, obviously, because you can't really wear their clothes full of bullet holes.
Oh,
But,
no,
yeah,
it's still uniforms.
you could then disguise yourself as the person you just offed. And I purposely used to target the kind of Gestapo leaders so I could wear the coat because I like their coats. It sounds stupid. It's the same reason that in Morrowind, I used to attack the guys who used to do the boats in Vivek because they had Raiden hats, and I wanted the hat. That's a ridiculous reason for attacking an NPC, but that's me. That's the way I play.
But it's like the video that went out... Oh, speaking of which, the video just went out on the channel. If anybody's bored of this, the video went out at 5 o'clock. I completely forgot. The episode I did Wednesday, there was a guy in that who had a sword, and I knew he had a sword. And yes, I think you commented on it, Anita. I think this is why I remember it. And I went to go and kill him, and I thought, I don't want to kill him, but I do. And then I had a chat with him, and it's like, oh god, I can't kill him now. I really can't.
Yeah, I love that. I love that part of the video because you were like, "Oh, I know he's got this really nice sword, but I can't kill him now because I know, I know him as a person now."
Yeah. And it's like,
it's like you don't name your food, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just like I guilt tripped myself into that. It's like, no, I can't.
But I was glad you didn't.
I mean, there's only been a handful of times in a game whereby the canon of the main storyline dictates that you have to kill this person, and I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah, I hate that in games. But that's
because if it's a role-playing game, if I'm role-playing it, I don't want to kill this person. So, I mean, I hope it's not a spoiler. I'm thinking the statute of limitations is on Skyrim, for example. Everyone knows what happens in Skyrim.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gone by now.
Yeah.
So, Parthenax, for me, was the big one. I did not want to kill him at all. But I wanted to do the Blades storyline because you go around basically becoming dragon hunters. For me, that was amazing because you can conscript some of your companions to become part of the Blades. And as a Khajiit player, I had Karjo and Jazago, so basically I could have all of them in one battle. So it was basically Thundercats. But for example, the Parthenax thing. The only way to do that was to kill Parthenax, but he'd helped me. I had grown emotionally attached to an NPC. And I feel stupid saying this out loud now, that basically a computer-generated dragon I thought was my friend.
But I think that just shows good game design and stuff.
I mean, how can you not love a big dragon who helps you, though?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe there's that childlike part of you from, I can't remember his name, the big flying dragon thing that looks like a dog from Neverending Story.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's your friend. He rides around. I can't remember. All I can remember is the lad's called Atreyu. Is all I can remember from Neverending Story. I can't remember the name of the dragon, but
Kane will probably know. What's the name of the dragon in Neverending Story? Found something he doesn't know.
I've got two answers
Amazing.
in the chat. I don't know which one's the correct one.
Falcor.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Falcor.
Thank you, Megan.
Hmm.
Yes. Meg with the knowledge.
I've lost trail of thought now. Well done, brain.
Sorry, I was going off on a weird tangent. while I was
That's the
talking
whole
about-
point of these. That's the whole
Oh,
point
that's-
of them.
That's fine. I mean, we do become attached to our characters in games and characters in games, and if we didn't, then they wouldn't really have any point because you need to be engaged in them in some way.
Hmm.
Or, I mean, at least for me, if I'm really going to love a game, I do need to be emotionally engaged in it. Even something like Lone Far Sails,
I'm glad you brought that up because it's such a good game.
it is such a good game, and that's, you know, minimalistic on narrative,
Hmm.
and you can just like project what you want onto what's going on. And
Yeah.
I got so attached to my little character and the ship
Mhm.
that you travel in.
Yeah.
You
That's that. I think I've asked this before, but if you could wipe your memory and play a game again, that would be the one I'd do.
Yeah,
Because it's only, I want to say it's only like 4 hours long at most. If that, depending on how you play it.
Hmm.
But it's just, there's no dialogue if I remember right.
there's no dialogue now.
It's
Oh,
basically,
really?
yeah, it's basically a side scroller of such. I'm going to bring up some artwork from it because it's a nice game.
Yeah, I mean, Sin, have you, or people in the chat, have you played games like Limbo or Inside?
I've played Limbo.
It's kind of, for me, I don't know why, but Lone Far Sails remind me of that. Like you're plonked into this world, you don't know much about it, you don't really know what's going on, and the game kind of just leaves you to figure things out from like visual prompts, you know, and basically all you can do is go forwards, you know.
Hmm.
And it's very atmospheric, and it's got beautiful music.
Oh, that picture's way too small.
I mean, I remember Limbo, and I remember thinking this is like a weird silhouetted nightmare.
Yeah.
Mainly because there was a spider in it, and I'm not a big fan of spiders, but oh, okay.
It's funny,
find a
Megan
better
says
route.
she found Limbo and Inside really chill games. I didn't find them chill. I
was
found them really
not chilled in-
creepy.
I was not chilled in Limbo. Limbo the whole time I was on tenterhooks the entire time because I was just I maybe it's good storytelling, good presentation of the game. I just felt claustrophobic,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, first-person games or first-person horror games, you know, they're there to make you feel claustrophobic. Or Silent Hill, for example, you do not feel relaxed at any point in a Silent Hill game, apart from
No.
maybe the beginning and maybe the end when the credits go up.
See, that's why I can't play horror games because I can't relax.
I do feel that, I mean, certainly in lots of games nowadays, the storytelling is so much better. It's better than, oh, go save the world, and you just go, and you're like, what? Whereas one of the favourite series for me was Mass Effect. I genuinely felt I was saving the universe, and I think I got very emotionally invested in that game.
I loved Mass Effect. I mean, the first game, if you want to do all the planets and all that kind of stuff, it can get a bit grindy.
Oh, I did though.
But yeah, I did too, because, you know, mad.
It's
But
that Mako truck though. Oh,
yeah, but I love the story in that, and I love the story in the second one. And I know the third one is a bit like Marmite, but I also really enjoyed that one.
the weird thing with Mass Effect is, and I say the same thing about when people say, "What's your favorite Lord of the Rings film?" I see it as one story. I
Yeah.
don't like sort of this granular dissection of a story, saying, "Oh, Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3, what's your favorite?" I see it as the Mass Effect saga,
Yes.
and that in itself is essentially one incredibly long game. I mean, Meg, going back to choice-based, you know, games. I mean, for me, Mass Effect is the butterfly effect that you can make what was seemingly a fly-by-night decision in 1 can become kind of a major decision come 3, and that's incredible.
Yeah.
to think that far ahead as a company who are making a game with a storyline, to have that the entire premise of cause and effect is amazing.
Yeah, I haven't played any other RPGs, I think, that have affected me quite as much as Mass Effect. Not even Dragon Age, and I do love Dragon Age a lot.
Yeah, no, I like the Dragon Age games too. Well, same
Um,
people, isn't it?
it is, yeah, BioWare. But
Yeah. And then they
I
put it in FIFA, and it was bad.
oh yeah,
It's stupid. I initially I thought, oh, okay, and then it was I think it was FIFA 17, 18, and 19 that had the journey, and I'm like, come the third batch of the journey, I just don't care anymore.
The
It's just
the Mass Effect. I remember watching a YouTuber play that, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Mm.
And it was just, yeah, it's not the sort of game I would sit and play because I'd be terrible at it. But I would happily watch someone else play who's good enough that the story will progress.
I don't think you'd be terrible at it. It requires. I think it's quite a patient game. If you were going into it thinking Mass Effect will be a shooter, if you treated it like Halo or Doom, you will be disappointed.
Mm.
Or Gears of War. It's not like that at all.
That's a question. If you somehow you know a game, you're interested in a game somehow, but have gone in completely blind, do you prefer to go into a game completely blind or knowing something about it? I know it's a weird question.
Good question.
Like, Far Lone Sales, I saw 20 minutes of it before I played it, and I wish I hadn't. And Vampire, I watched the first. No, sorry, I bought it years ago when it first came out and just put it in my Steam list. And I played the first 3 minutes of the game to make sure that it was going to be an okay series for the channel.
Okay.
And I'm glad I did that because the rest of it I was going in blind. And
Okay.
that series has just turned out to be. That game is just. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's on my top 5 games now.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I personally have never heard of it.
Hmm.
So,
it's Vampire is. It's got such good world building.
Yeah.
Vampire's
No,
incredibly immersive, though, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, every character kind of has their own story, which I really appreciate in a game because a lot of NPCs in games are just like, you know,
Like
they're
going back to Skyrim when it first launched, and every
Yeah.
guard basically told you took an arrow to the knee.
Oh,
Yeah. It's like that. It's just they don't have a personality, and a lot of the time they're just copy paste appearance wise as well.
Mm.
But it's like Lone Far Sales. When I started playing it, I bought it because Wolf recommended it, and I
Yeah.
was like, Wolf recommended it. That's enough for me. I'm going to buy it, and I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to really look at anything about it. And that's what I did, and I'm really glad I did that because, you know, it's an experience.
Yeah, it's. I think it's still on sale currently. I know it was when I recommended it.
Yeah.
Anybody in chat, if it's on sale, I would recommend it. Even if it's not, I think it's. I want to say it's only £20. I think. I honestly don't know off the top of my head. It's. You're only going to probably play it once. You might play it twice, possibly. But I think it's worth playing because it's just. It's a great way to escape the world for a while, if that makes sense. And just you end up, like you said, you end up asking like 1,000,001 questions about this world you know nothing about, and you get no answers from it. But yeah, because I really want to know what happened to that world
Yeah.
for that to be the way that game ends up being.
Oh yeah, it's totally fascinating.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think.
Sorry,
Go
Han.
on. No, go on.
So sorry. I was going to ask you a slightly tangential question. So please carry on.
I was just going to say, I don't think it's too spoilerish to say it's a bit of a post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah, it definitely is post-apocalyptic, but it's hard to work out what's happened. Like,
Yes.
how have they ended up in that situation? It's
Do
very.
you like? Do you like games post-apocalyptic wise? Do you like games whereby you're in a post-apocalyptic setting where you do know why the world is in that state, or you don't know?
Hmm.
Because I find that if you do know, you try to over rationalize it, whereas if you don't know, that sense of intrigue and mystery carries you the whole game.
Welcome
Yeah,
back, little Welshie. Sorry.
No, go on.
I was just saying welcome back to Welshie. She's just come back.
Alright.
Yeah, I think for Fallout, I want to know. For something like Fardone Sales, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it depends on the game, but on balance, I quite like games that just don't over explain things because I don't really need them to explain everything to me.
No, I'm trying to think of. There probably is. Skyrim's probably a good one, actually. I know it's not post-pocket, but like the trailer for Skyrim is. It probably doesn't actually show you much of the story, but it shows you enough of the world to get you interested. And I think that's like a happy medium. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. I keep seeing Little Nightmares and people in chat are recommending it. Is that a
It's
horror?
weird.
Is it a horror?
weird.
What is it? I have no idea.
It
I
is
wouldn't-
kind of.
There's horror elements. I wouldn't call it a horror game. It's
It's
disturbing.
It's a kind of horror. I mean, but it's very good. Again, it sort of takes place in this world where you don't know why things are the way that is, and it is quite disturbing. But it's not like jump scares.
Yeah, that's the one thing I can't stand. It's jump scares.
No, it's not a jump scary game.
Then it may be that's probably going to go on the list then.
It's just odd.
But it's cool. I do like that. I'm looking forward to the second game.
It's going back to art. It's like that sort of weird sort of period of time when people used to have those weird people like Bruegel used to paint those scenes, wasn't it? Those disturbing scenes of people being gluttons.
Yeah,
That's what Little Nightmares gave to me. It was kind of like, again, going back to video games being art. Little Nightmares is a perfect example because, you know, if you take, you know, one of those what I would call a disturbing painter,
yeah.
people like that. Little Nightmares was the same reason that I think lots of people like that game. So, painter-wise, if you think of like a Francis Bacon or I mentioned Bruegel and ones like that, Little Nightmares for the same reason is just it ticks in your head. There's something disturbing you in the head, but you carry on going.
Oh yeah.
Like, you want to know what's there, but at the same time you're worried what's there, maybe?
Absolutely. Fear of the unknown is always the greatest fear factor. I mean, like, why is Silent Hill so foggy? Do you really find out? You kind of they allude to it in the first game, but they never ever really explain it. I don't feel.
What do they allude to? Because I presume you know what Silent Hill's based on.
It's a cult. There was a cult in Silent Hill, and they worshipped a god called Samael.
Mhm.
And they sacrificed, tried to sacrifice a little girl called Alessa, who was Dahlia's daughter, but she didn't die. But this is where it gets a bit weird, that it's almost like she created this, almost like Hellmouth as revenge, which then manifests your nightmares. That's where it switches to the other worlds. I mean, I haven't read into the lore, or I did, and I've forgotten lots of it about Silent Hill, but the Silent Hill stories, it's always a different protagonist who somehow finds themselves in Silent Hill and then affected because obviously whether it's the manifestation of their guilt, their nightmares, their biggest fears, they're all different kind of stories, I guess.
I'm very curious about, because I mean I don't know much of the lore around Silent Hill 4, but it's like Henry isn't in Silent Hill, is he?
He's not. No,
So it's
he's
like why?
neighbouring.
Yeah. So why is he experiencing Silent Hill-esque phenomena?
I am very reticent to spoil Silent Hill 4 for you because I'm enjoying your series, so I'm going to stay tight-lipped.
Damn it! I want to know.
Well, with Silent Hill's a funny game like that, and I know we keep mentioning Skyrim, but when you come across like books and notes in games, do you read all of them?
I wish I
Yeah.
could. I wish I could.
Oh, okay.
So,
Maybe not for Wolf, but
no, but
so even like
I'd
even
love
the
to know the
Resident
lore.
Evil games, do you read every log? Because I don't.
It depends what kind of mood I'm in. I mean, last night I spent a good hour reading through all the logs and data and interviews on Death Stranding, because
yeah.
that's
God, there's
another
a lot to read
game.
on that.
Yeah, and that's another game where you don't really know what the heck has gone on or why the world has become so messed up.
I've gone completely blank on Death Stand. Oh yes, I just remember what it is. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I knew the
and
game, but I couldn't think what it
Cool.
was. Yes, that
yeah,
is an
so
interesting game.
yeah, so I'll read all the notes and stuff for that because I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But
See,
for some games, nah.
it's Silent Hill is actually based on a real life town in America.
Is it?
Yep.
Is it Salem?
I can't remember the name of it. Basically, the short story is it was a coal mining town in America, and they had too much garbage, so they decided to set fire to it. And then it spread to the coal vein underground, and then that started burning the coal.
Oh,
And it's been burning the coal since, I want to say, the 60s. And the problem is the ground is collapsing everywhere, and the city, well, town is like just slowly collapsing. And there's like 4 people left living there now. They don't no longer have a zip code, and the American government basically said this town no longer exists. And you can go there, and there'd be like, if you put a cup of water on the ground, it will just start to boil, and things like this.
Oh my god.
But I think that's not the only coal fire underground, because I think there's like 200 separate underground coal fires in the global thing, and there's one that's been burning since like 16 something. And yeah, humans.
Since the 1600s.
Something like that. It's something like ridiculously long. I can't remember the exact date, but if you
So-
dig into it,
That's contemporary with the Black Death and the Great Fire of London,
Yeah.
1600s.
there's some that are just, they've been burning for ages and ages and ages. And they're incredibly hard to put out.
Wow.
So that's what I know it from.
Okay.
And I think I found that out by looking up, because horror games and movies interest me. Like, I want, like what you guys were saying, that you want to know what's going on, but I don't want to play the game because I won't enjoy it. But I want to know what's going on. So
yeah, it's like you played Amnesia Dark Descent, or tried to, and for Halloween, and you didn't like it, did you?
the video effectively failed because, for me, I was running around as quick as I could, and someone in one of the Discords mentioned that it was a game changer at the it was a game changer at the time, and I think I went into it expecting too much of it.
Yeah,
And I think that's the problem I had with it. I went in too scared and too prepared, and I should have gone
Yeah.
in blind. I think that's what the problem was. Because I saw the monster and I was like, oh, okay. And the game got a bit weird, and then like 2 hours into the recording, I was like, there's like 1 minute of good footage here. And it's like, this is done. I'm done with this. So,
like when I first played Amnesia, I can't remember how long ago it was now, but it was probably 6 years ago that I played it. Would that be right? I can't remember. I can't remember when it came out, but I didn't play it immediately when it came out. But it was probably one of the first horror games I actually played, and I was scared to move anywhere. And then I had a few encounters with the monster, and that it kind of, I hate the monster. It still spooks me to look at it, but running around in the game, I'm not scared of it anymore.
it goes to show how much of an impact it made if you're still sort of taken back by it, as it were.
But I think the monster just looks horrible.
Amnesia's definitely become one of those games. I much prefer watching someone play it than me play it, because I think I'll get straight. I mean, I was watching like Meg play it the other day on her stream, and you know, I've seen Chris stream Rebirth. I've seen Hen's videos and Rebirth, and I'm like, I'm so glad it's not me in
Yes.
control there, because I would have lost my temper.
Yeah, I think there was one in yours, Anita, that was like, it was literally pitch black. And I was like,
Yeah.
I would be like so pissed right then. Because I'd be like, I have no way of knowing if I'm actually walking against a wall or if I'm going anywhere.
Yeah, there's some pieces in Rebirth so far where I feel that they overuse the like, yeah, the you can't see anything aspect, and it does come annoy me because I ended up getting a bit lost a couple of times, and I'm like, well, now I'm not scared, now I'm just pissed off.
Yeah,
Now I'm furious.
there's a thing where you can build up tension and build up tension and build up tension and then just boom, release it all like a jump scare. And then suddenly that's it. It's like that 0.2 of a second where you're scared crapless. And then it's gone. And then you've got to build up tension and build up. It just. Yeah, doing horror in a game is difficult to make it enjoyable. But that might just be because I don't enjoy horror games. I don't know.
I think it all depends what you want to get out of a game. I mean, I think for some people, playing a horror game can be kind of cathartic. I mean, for me, I like dark stories and I like dark atmospheres. I don't know why. I just do. It's like why I enjoy horror films.
Yeah.
You know, they're grim and they can be disturbing, but they also explore aspects of humanity that other things don't, and I just find it really fascinating.
I
Like the
think
darker side.
it's similar to, I think we've spoken about this before on here, about like, I won't watch a movie, but I will dig into the lore of it, because I see the trailer for it and I go, that's interesting. How did that come about in that world? And I think one of them was that Snowbreaker or Snowpiercer movie with the train.
Snowpiercer, yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm going to shut off that Snowpiercer.
No, I know you don't like it, but that was an example we used at the time. But
Yeah.
things like The Walking Dead, I watched one season one. Did I watch? I watched like 2 or 3 episodes. Got bored. Googled.
What happens?
Yeah, I literally just like, okay, how does this play out? And within 30 minutes, I had all the lore and I was done. I was like, cool. That's all I needed from that. My curiosity has been satisfied. I'm done. So,
Well, sorry, Meg. I see you there. So you like Snowpiercer? I got in a full-blown argument with Walshy, old LS Walsh, over it because he said there's a video that's on YouTube which kind of explains how Snowpiercer is the sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I'm like, what are you smoking? Are you
What?
sniffing glue right now? What are you on about? And he's arguing that what makes it a great film, and I'm like, no, you know what? No, you've just made a film I didn't like worse.
so there's a theory like that, but it's game related, where Fallout, Skyrim is after Fallout in the same universe.
Oh, what? Hang on,
Yeah.
Skyrim is after Fallout.
Yes. The idea being the magic is just technology. We're talking like, I think they talk like 100,000 years in the future, something silly.
Like,
I know.
Skyrim is after Fallout.
Like, the points make sense, but I think it's more just a case of it was made by the same people. And there just happens to be like Easter eggs that they're using as an excuse. Because like you
Right.
have sweet rolls in both games, and that's like one of the things. Is like no, they just put it in there as a callback.
A tenuous link is the reason they're in the same universe is because of sweet rolls.
Yeah, and like thing is, if you put enough time on something, it will change. Like you could say, I'm trying to think of a random game now. Like Far Lone Sails could be Earth in 100 years. And if it's not in 100 years, maybe in 1 billion years, when Earth has been crushed again and reborn, sort of thing. It's like if you take it like Star Wars, you could argue is real. If you assume the universe is infinite and time is infinite, then at some point that will happen. You're just rolling the dice again and again and again. So
I mean, sci-fi is one of those ones. Is that if sci-fi feels tangible and believable, you can
When
forget
it
that it's a
is that.
sci-fi film for a second and think this could actually happen. I mean, for example, I don't know. Have you guys seen Interstellar with Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey?
no,
I genuinely believe that could happen?
So again, it's another movie I've literally looked into the lore of, and that's all I've done with it. So that's the one where a wormhole opens up next to Jupiter, Venus,
Yeah.
and they go through it and they experience different Earths or different planets or something.
They look at they're basically they've got pioneers sent out there to find a planet which could sustain human life,
Hmm.
and they go out to see what happened.
So the lore that I looked into, because I've not seen the movie, and spoilers anybody who's not seen it. From what I could find out about it, basically it's we go out and try and find those planets like you said. Time travels differently because obviously you're traveling distance, time, relativity,
Gravity,
all
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was us from the future who set up that wormhole.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's a
that's
massive spoiler for anyone who hasn't
yes,
seen the film.
I did say spoilers. So yeah, but that's a good example of a movie that I'm interested in from the trailer, but I'm not going to sit and watch.
So you know the twist. Okay, so you'll probably kind of put off watching the film now because you know the twist.
Yeah, and I wanted, as far as I can tell, again, I just do like literally, I will spend 30 minutes digging into the lore and then I'm done. Or I'll put 30 minutes into it and then that'd be it. So, like, a good example of that movie is I wanted to know why the Earth was dying because they reference, like, the Earth is done or something, I don't know. And as far as I can tell, again, I've not seen the movie, there is no actually explanation of why Earth is dying. My assumption is carbon, sea rise, and all that rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of sci-fi's I've watched of late where, but I genuinely believe that could be true, and then you're like, oh, come on. I mean, one of the films which, again, this is a film I really liked, but loads of people I spoke to disliked it, was Prometheus,
Prometheus.
which is basically the prequel to the Alien films. That, I genuinely believe the lore of Prometheus, with the architects or the engineers, whatever they called them, could be true.
See, that's another one that This is a weird tangent. Someone in one of my really early videos, I think the first year I started doing videos, someone called me Prometheus engineers, an engineer or something, and I never got the reference. And this might be the reference they were referring to. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. That's a really old comment that's into my. But again, looking at them,
They're where we came from. The engineers are where we came from. They were a humanoid subspecies that is where we descended from.
Yeah, because again, that's going to be another movie where I won't watch it, but I'll dig into the lore of it. I think because I'm just looking at.
You'll like the lore of Prometheus then.
Yeah, I'm looking at screenshots and I'm like, this is interesting to me.
Yeah,
I
I enjoyed Prometheus.
I've already got like 40 questions. So.
Yeah, for me it was good. The fact that it actually ties into the kind of alien universe, and it kind of explains where xenomorphs come from, essentially, is fascinating.
What was the other film called? Like the one that came after Prometheus? Covenant.
Alien Covenant.
I mean, that one was pretty friggin' interesting as well.
Yeah, see, I didn't particularly like Covenant. Prometheus I really enjoyed, but Covenant, I remember I took the wife to the cinema to go see it, and I come out of it going, ugh, I wish I never made that film.
I found it really interesting though, because it kind of it deals. I mean, I don't want to say spoilers, but I'll just say it deals with robots, and I love that. Synthetic life.
Yeah.
In chat, they're saying there's an organism called blight that infects crops. Oh, okay, so.
Oh, in Interstellar, because Matthew McConaughey's a farmer, isn't he?
Which explains why they burn everything to try and stop it. Wow, that's worrying relatable to now. Moving on. So, yeah, that's. Has anybody played the Alien video game? Alien Isolation?
Isolation.
I watched someone play that.
Hated it.
I loved watching someone play it. It was the best thing in the world. It was brilliant. I think it was. I'd be terrible at it because I'd be freaking the hell out constantly.
I love watching other people play it. I hated playing it myself.
Yeah.
Agreed.
some people pointed out that once you get a certain item, the alien loses a lot of their scare factor because you can actually combat them.
Yeah, the one thing I remember taking away from watching that was because you have, I can't remember all of them, but one is you have noisemakers, you can hold your breath, and you can hide in containers. I think there's more. But if you do too much of one thing, the monster will learn. And that was very much a selling point of the game back then. That's like old news now, but back then I think it was very much, wow, the enemies learn like your tactic, and then if your tactic runs out, working. But I don't remember the thing that you mentioned where you get something that breaks the game.
My personal problem with Alien Isolation is what I like in a horror game is the build up, is the fact is that constant fear of peril, and you're going, oh, it's not there, oh, okay, oh yeah, and then it builds up slowly, then you see it, like, oh my god, you go high, and then you're like, okay, cool. What I didn't like about Alien Isolation is that xenomorph was sat on your lap every 3 minutes. There was no building of tension. It was you're either in a cupboard or being chased by a xenomorph, and because it was a literal persistent, I'm talking within 60 seconds of each event, a persistent threat. You can argue that I'm rubbish at it. My personal preference of a horror game is something like take Silent Hill, for example. You can have half an hour wandering around an abandoned hotel and there's nothing there. But you're kind of looking around the corner every two minutes going, is there something there? That, for me, I really enjoy that. Whereas my personal experience of Alien Isolation was it was constant, and I didn't have time to be scared. I was too much time being annoyed that I was repeatedly chased. It was the kind of the jump scare element of it was lost to me because I was like, oh, there he is. Oh, look, he's over there. Oh yeah.
You sort of got
Oh, look,
burnt
I'm
out from
yeah.
it, sort of thing.
But yeah, that was just my personal opinion of Isolation. I completely understand why many people do enjoy playing it, and I get it. And I think, again, as Hen said, I prefer people watching people play it than me play it myself because controllers get thrown when I play it.
Yeah, I think you're correct in saying, though, you can do too much of something in the game and it just becomes boring. Whereas, like, just a real plain, simple way of explaining this is you start by, let's say you start on that ship. Have I just accidentally? No, I haven't. You start on that ship and it's all fully habitated, fully occupied, and then
Back in a sec.
no worries, mate. Then the monster turns up, and things go to shit, and then it all calms down again, and then the monster comes back. And I think the problem Sin's having with it is it's just too much constantly, and you didn't get to see the world before it went to crap. Because it is nice to see a game before it goes to crap, or a world before, like, what the hell is it called? The one the zombies one, not Among Us, the one CJ's been playing.
Oh,
Zombie one, The Last of Us.
oh, yeah.
Like in the start of the first one, you see the original world, and it slowly unravels and goes to pot. And I think because you don't see the Alien universe before, I think it's sort of just, yeah, you can do too much.
It is kind of full on, but you also have great moments where you just hear the alien moving around and you're like, what was that?
Yeah, it can become too much.
Mm.
It's like doing the same joke over and over and over again.
Well, yeah.
It just becomes too much, and
Yeah.
it's hard to explain.
Well, it's like a lot of horror games that rely very heavily on jump scares, like especially if they're sort of a range of sort of indie horror that's slightly more basic, I guess. And they do these jump scares with a loud sound accompanied to it, and it's like, unless you're really absorbed in something else,
Yeah,
it doesn't scare you.
I think.
And there are some games that do it really well, that they give you something to concentrate on and then they scare you.
Yeah. I think it's a
See what I
case of
mean.
it's too easy to make it scary, like that odd attempt to do that.
Yeah.
I think I have the same thing when a game has boss fights in it. It's like, you had a boss fight again? Can you guys not come up with something new, please? And or it's just, I see a lot of games and I look at them and it's just the same thing. Like Call of Duty is a good example of it's like it's just the same game. You've not, yes, you've improved the graphics, but it's like it just doesn't interest me. I think
Yeah.
it's too, it's too generic, for lack of a better term. We may be having someone else join us in the voice,
Ooh.
potentially. It was
I
someone.
was.
Go on.
sorry.
I was going to say, I think, because the gentleman wasn't able to join us, and plans changed, so they may be able to join us now. We shall see. It's there's a cool trick you can do in audio as well that builds tension. It's called a shepherd's tone.
Shepherd's time.
A shepherd's tone, as in like a sheepdog shepherd.
Yeah.
Where it sounds like a keyboard that goes on forever, like going up in the notes.
Yeah.
And I can't explain how you make it in audio, but it's a clever little trick where you just have 3 notes, one fades away and another one fades in. It's a clever way of making a keyboard that sounds like it goes on forever. And it's a really cool way of building tension. Because like
Yeah.
you hear someone go up a keyboard, it goes dun, 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 and if you keep that going forever, you just build and build and build tension. And if you
There's-
add, sorry.
I was going to say there's no crescendo kind of thing.
And if you do that for long enough, it gets to the point where every little thing that happens, you're like, is this the thing that tips it over the edge? And it never does.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
a clever way of building tension in the game.
Yeah.
Another one is to add ticking.
Oh god, clocks.
Yeah, there's a famous composer who uses the shepherd tone with a ticking clock. And it's in the film, oh god, the one on World War II movie, brain, Dunkirk. It's the same composer who did Batman movies as well. He uses a shepherd tone a lot. Yeah, it's. I want to use it someday in one of my videos just because I love it so much. But it's hard to find a good place to use it. I don't want to waste it.
Yeah. But that's a cool idea. I can see you incorporating that in something.
Are you back, Sin?
I'm back, but we have another guest.
We have another guest. Ladies and gentlemen, may I allowed to introduce... I'll start again. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce CJ Voss has joined us in the chat. Are you there, CJ?
I hope so.
He's
Hello.
there. Is he too loud, too quiet? Let me know and I'll soon adjust it if need.
Good evening, or good evening, good evening.
How are
CJ's
you?
never loud.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, what did you... What?
You're not. I wouldn't class you as a loud person, CJ.
Oh, it depends on the situation.
You
Hmm.
mean if you're streaming with Andy?
Yeah.
Yes, remember I will kick you out if you lower it to that standard.
Understood.
Wow. Understood, sir, understood.
No, your streams are very good. Yeah.
So you were talking about a shepherd
didn't-
tone. I
Yeah.
actually don't know what I was going to ask. What's a shepherd tone?
So a shepherd tone is take your keyboard.
Yeah.
What's it called? Piano, and you know how you can go up the keyboard, go dun 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 up the keys. A shepherd
Yeah.
tone is a trick.
Scale.
Scale. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Do you want me to do that right now?
You can if you want.
I'm sat at a piano. Okay, give me a second. I need to clear all the jazz off it. But yeah.
Well, yeah. While he's doing that, it's basically taking that and making it go on forever using an audio trick. And it's a really clever way of building tension. I think the piano fell over.
I'm not jumping. I'm just removing it all. So you want me to do what? A scale?
Just go along the keyboard from left to right.
What, including semitones, including the black keys.
Yes.
So a chromatic scale.
Sin knows all the technical terms. I don't.
Yeah, chromatic scale is. I'm not going to bore you. It's the black keys.
Mm.
Can you hear that? Okay.
Yep.
It's not loud or anything. Hey, what was the? Okay, so that's 1 octave chromatically.
Yeah. So if I remember the right way, I can't remember the full details of how you make it, but you take 3 of those and you offset them by an octave. The higher one you fade out, and the lower one you fade in, and the middle one you keep constant, and you loop that, and then it sounds like a piano or whatever instrument you're using going on forever.
But you then. I'm trying to play quiet with my right hand, which is the higher tone,
Mm.
and harder with the left hand.
Yeah, I think you need software to do it like perfectly. But
Oh yeah. I just wanted to hear kind of roughly what you were talking about.
yeah, but it's a great way of building tension in a game, rather than and never letting the tension go, rather than doing like a jump scare and another jump scare, like you were saying about isolation.
Hmm. So I'm just showing off now. I'll turn this off.
It's fine, mate.
It's the Elder Scrolls theme because I can only play things from video games.
Hey, you play what you like. I think if anybody could play a piano, you'd play stuff you enjoy.
I can't remember it. I'm embarrassing myself now.
That's fine. No one's live streaming this. Don't you worry.
It's all right. I've turned it off now. I didn't know. It was just. I was quite intrigued by the concept of that shepherd tone. This is why I love talking to you, Wolf, because you always pull out these little.
Useless bits of information.
No, not useless bits of information. Little nuggets of science, which I'm unaware of because I probably don't read as much sciencey stuff as you do. So
I don't read.
listen to then.
The thing is, I actually put my grades up on Twitter like a year ago, saying, "Look, I don't know jack shit." So
Yeah, academic grades aren't indicative of intelligence, though, are they?
no, far from it. Unless you're studying something very specific, like to be a doctor, then I hope you are doing very well with what you're studying. Yeah.
Just academic grades for me is people who are very good at remembering, not because they're clever.
And some roles require that, and some don't. How are you, CJ, anyway?
Yeah, not too bad considering. But I'm alright.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of
Can't complain.
I'm trying to think of the questions we were discussing earlier that we can regurgitate for you to have a chat with.
Oh, mate, like crack on with whatever you're talking about. I just thought, as I had the moment, I thought I'd pop in and say hello.
Oh, that's a question for you. So you're getting your new computer.
Shh.
Spoilers. Do you know what you're going to be playing on it when you first get it, or are you just going to be using it for streaming?
I think, to be fair, I think the first test is going to be to see if it works seamlessly with Streamlabs and the capture card. And then I'm going to go from there. Because the problem is I've never owned, it's not a problem. Why am I saying it's a problem? I've never owned a decent enough laptop or a desktop to be a kind of PC gamer. I've always been a console gamer. And when was I? When I was probably 16, 17, when I was living out of the area I'm living in now, I used to go to an internet cafe, and it was a proper internet cafe that was a gaming internet cafe, and that was the only time I was a proper kind of like PC gamer in a way. And with the laptop, it would definitely be testing the new kit to see if it works seamlessly with the Elgato, with Streamlabs, and yeah, with the PlayStation. Hopefully, it works. If it doesn't, I'm out of ideas. I'm screwed.
It'll work. Don't
It
worry.
will
I
work,
think
yeah.
It'll work.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm hoping it will. I really am hoping it will. I think, if anything, I think the only other issue that might pop up might be the internet, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see.
Cross
When-
that bridge. Yeah.
I don't know, Sim might be able to answer this. When I first started doing YouTube and uploading, my net speed was slow, my upload speed was slow. And then about 6 months into it, I got an email from my provider saying, we're going to up your upload speed. Now, I don't know if that's because they noticed how much I was uploading or just a fluke. Now, I don't know if that's something internet providers will do. Do you know anything about that,
Possibly.
Sim? I know it's a bit of a not really your sort of area of expertise, but
Really, but I mean, if I just kind of think how they work, is they would have noticed your usage, the amount, just in sheer number crunching, they would have been aware that your bandwidth on upload was, what wasn't great, and with the volumes that you were doing, is kind of to a degree in their best interests to apportion it, because my understanding certainly is how the bandwidth works on an enterprise level like that is, if you've got, let's say everyone's got really naff upload, I mean, let's say they got 60 meg to play with for 10 houses, but they're portioning them about 2 meg each. If there's one guy who is consistently using their 2 meg allocation, that will drag down the bandwidth of all of them, regardless of whether they're using it. So it's in their best interest to apportion more resources for you to enable your lifestyle, as it were.
yeah. So
That's how I would read that.
So that it might just be a fluke of those two things happening at coincidence, but it was
yeah.
definitely been interesting. So that may happen to you, CJ. Is all I'm thinking.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I mean, I do upload obviously anyway via the PlayStation and stuff. But maybe who knows, man? Who knows? We'll just have to wait for the day. I mean, fingers crossed it turns up tomorrow. If I have time to test it tomorrow, maybe I will. I don't know. But if not, I'll definitely be playing around with it, because it's, as you know, it's a new toy. So I'm gonna be extremely having a look at it and getting everything transferred over and getting everything installed. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Definitely.
Not a
looking
spoiler.
forward to it.
It's not a spoiler, CJ. But I was going to say, someone here also is now playing with Elgato software.
Oh,
Who's
See?
playing with Elgato?
everyone's. I beg your pardon.
All I heard was someone's playing with Elgato. Or did I mishear that?
No, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, someone. Well, okay, it's me.
I
I have been
presumed.
playing with the Elgato software today.
So I know you guys use Elgato and you use like the USB hub thingies. I don't know the correct names of them.
No, that is exactly what they're called.
Okay, I've started with OBS and I've never had any problems with it other than the ones that were my own fault, where I didn't have the correct things ticked or whatever in the settings. So I don't really want to change in case like it just causes me a headache, but you guys seem to be able to do more with it.
I mean, Wolf, if it's something you're comfortable with and
Yeah.
you've used it for a while, there's no read like why try and fix something that's not broken. At the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Like,
But like I see
if
you,
you're gonna go on.
I was like I see things like some people like when they're streaming they can have like a donate button that's linked up to it and stuff, and I'm like, and just like
You're going into the Stream Deck category there.
yeah. See, I know nothing about these things, but it's just I feel like when you feel like you're missing out with not having a little bit of tech, but yet what you've got works
Yeah.
fine. You're like,
I can agree with you on that one. I feel the same sometimes when, for example, if I'm editing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out a lot because all I'm using is Share Factory off the PlayStation. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad piece of software for a console editing software, but I know I could do so much more with what you guys use, for example.
Well, here's a question for Wolf and Hen. How do you, when you do YouTube videos, how do you capture? What methods do you use to capture? What programs do you use to capture?
I use OBS and it all goes through that.
Yeah, I use OBS as well, and that just captures. It can capture your game or your desktop or a specific window, and I just use that.
So I can take a screenshot of the OBS now and I'll show you guys.
Oh, we get an OBS, don't we?
Well, I won't do it live. I'll screenshot it. It's probably set up wrong.
I mean, I have OBS and Streamlabs on this computer anyway.
I think they both have their uses.
Yeah.
I've got to make sure I don't show.
Sorry, just a quick one. BHK has a very good point there in the chat, saying obviously you can just have an app on your phone from a Stream Deck. You don't need to spend hundreds of pounds on one.
Yeah,
He does have a very good point.
that was going to be my next subject.
good
Was the
point.
Stream Deck, because I looked at getting one and I was like, no, when I saw the price.
Yeah, they're extremely expensive.
Streamlabs generates a little QR code that if you get the app on your phone, you scan it in on your phone, and your phone becomes a Stream Deck.
Yeah, yep. I used that. I think I used that on my first one, and it works seamlessly. to be fair.
That was on. Sorry, what was that on?
Streamlabs OBS.
Ah, okay, because I know
Yeah, I don't know if OBS has one.
OBS has one, but I have to link to my own Wi-Fi and stuff like that.
Okay, I mean, I only aware of the Streamlabs QR code well because CJ told me about it.
Yeah, man.
But-
like,
I think
it's a perfect little app to use, man.
it kind. I remember it come about because I don't want to bring him up, but an Old Testament was going on about him buying something like that, and and I think CJ and Chris both went, "What's the point? There's an app."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's OBS I use, and you can see, look how janky it is for me because of my spelling and stuff. And I've got audio all over the place, and I'm still learning. So
That doesn't look. That looks like ours. No one who streams will look at that and go, "That's a mess," because
okay.
we're all the same. All I will say is you have significantly less sources than I've got because I've got loads of stupid stuff everywhere.
Yeah, but that's your mini games, though, Sin.
Yeah, I have German elves and stuff like that, and I
Oh, those German elves things! Oh my god!
I'll never forget when I come up with that. Sorry, I'm not plugging my thing, but I remember
Well,
because it was a meme that basically I'd seen for ages ago. And I remember I think it was Kristen. I sent it to her. I go, and I think it was Kristen and Torn. I sent it to them both, and I was like, "What do you think of this?" And basically, both of them came back with, "What the fuck?" Yeah, nearly
Easy.
Nearly said it. I stopped myself. I'm still clean bit of health here. But yeah, WTF was basically the unanimous thing. I go, that is the reaction I'm after. It's going in.
Yeah. Going back to the Elgato thing, it's as
Yes.
far as I can tell, it's literally just the Elgato Stream Deck thing is just extra buttons on your keyboard. So you could just buy one of those like number pads that you can plug in that are USB.
USB number pad, yeah.
Yeah, and just assign that to do the same thing.
For £10 they cost, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fancy way that you can
Yeah.
obviously
You don't need it.
You don't need it, no.
you can
And-
custom it and you can do all that stuff
Yeah.
with it. But yeah, no, I agree.
And I was just like, this goes back to like the Supreme thing I was saying on earlier on, like about why does it cost this much? And other than the software, but you could probably write the code yourself and there's probably code on Reddit somewhere. Someone's probably done it at this point. And
Yeah.
Or just wait till the world goes back to normal and someone sells their Elgato on eBay cheap because they don't want to stream anymore. That's another option. Because this is something for anybody out there looking for tech. This is actually something to keep in mind. all computer stuff right now is like gone up 10% in price because of the current world situation. But on the other
Yes.
hand, when it goes, yeah, you know, unfortunately, CJ, you know this. On the other hand, when the world goes back to somewhat normal, it's going to go the other way. People are going to have all these bits of tech they're not using anymore, and it's going to go to places like CEX and places like that. So there might be some bargains to be had in the future. Just something to keep an eye out for.
I fully agree with you on that because I popped into town today to get a nice bit of a fillet steak for our Christmas Day dinner.
I'm hungry now.
Good show.
Sorry. Well, we're thinking Wellington, beef Wellington. Possibly.
Oh,
I'm not too sure.
God.
But going back to the point, right? So I was going through. Obviously, I went through our main shopping centre, and I went past Game, and I went past CEX. And you see talking about that, you can see where people, in the first kind of period of what happened this year,
Yep.
when everyone was locked up, you can see that people went through those moments of, I'm going to do this because I can't do anything else for 6 months or however long. And all this kit has just appeared nowhere
Yeah,
because people were doing it to kind of keep themselves busy,
Yeah.
but weren't really having that kind of passion behind it to keep it going.
Good luck to them, because I'm sure some of them made it.
Yeah, 100%.
This is getting really adulty for a second here, but the economics of the world right now is just out the windows. No one knows
mate,
what's
don't.
next. I mean, earlier in the year, oil was worthless. It's just, if someone told me that at the beginning of 2020, I would have called them drunk. It's just, yeah. I mean, you've got people that are scrapping 5-year-old cruise ships because they're worth more in scrap metal now than they are as brand new cruise ships. Which is
insane, isn't it?
It's insane that these cruise ships are meant to run for 20, 30 years and they're scrapping them 5 years into their life. It's just madness. But that's the economics we're in now. But
It's all gone to pot.
it's all gone to pot. Well, we weren't in the pot to begin with, were we? It's just yeah. This has been a really good coffee shop. I'm going to say that now. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions from chat? Because I think we're coming to the end of this now. Any questions from anybody here as well?
No, I'm satiated. Thank you for having me.
Yep, thank you for inviting me.
I know it was very short notice, Nito. I sort of sprung that on you.
No, that's fine, that's fine. It's better for me not to know, actually.
Yeah, I can appreciate why. No worries.
Wolf didn't want to just be stuck with me. That's why.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
I was more.
Am I a buffer?
No, I was more worried that
Standing buffer.
Sin would make himself come on here, even though he's ill. And I didn't. I specifically said to you, Sin, if you're still ill, don't come on here.
I'm dosed up, mate. I'm cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
you've done really well, Sin. You haven't been coughing over us or anything.
I've been muting myself every time I've been spluttering.
Have you?
Yeah.
I generally
I've
hadn't
been coughing
noticed.
loads. I've just been muting all the time.
Right, I'm going to end this very quickly then, because now I feel like you need to go and rest, mate. I'm a little bit annoyed, but that's fine.
I'll be okay. Thanks for the concern, though.
Yes, because health and family always comes first. Right, no questions. See you again next week. Next week is Christmas, is it not?
Yes.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. Boxing Day this time,
Boxing
actually.
Day. Well, I'm off from Thursday. So you'll be seeing more content from me at least. I don't know about the rest of you guys. And then
What?
I
was going to say I've got to watch your next vampire video now.
Yeah.
You haven't got
me
to.
too.
Is that
Well,
No,
not
I've got
true?
to. I want
I
to.
want to.
I
need
can't remember what
to.
happens in this one. I honestly
Yeah.
can't remember. I edited it like Wednesday and I've forgotten what happened, so it'll be a surprise to me as well. Oh no, this is a good one. Yes, it's a good question for everybody who's watching that series.
Mm.
At the end of this episode, I've not recorded the next one yet. That'll be tomorrow, so you've got a bit of time to let me know. What should I do at the end of that episode? It'll be explained in the video. There's a question at the end of it, and I don't know what to do.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger, yes. I generally don't know what I'm going to do in the next episode because I'm very pulled both ways with it, as it were. But yes,
I will be watching that.
Yes.
I'm glad everyone's enjoying it because I'm thoroughly enjoying that as well.
Well, that's just it. You look like you're enjoying it, which is why it's good.
I'm
In
massively
fact,
enjoying it.
I'm just going to do this.
Boxing Day coffee shop. We shall see. I don't know. I didn't see the news earlier, so I need to watch that and find out what happened. Thank you, Sin. I need to set that all up. Anyway, if you three have got anything more to say, now's
No.
the time to say it.
I'm going to go make dinner and go cuff my lungs up in the corner. So
Okay, everyone
Yeah.
stays. You guys are
Oh,
more
It
than
was nice to join near the end.
That's
Sorry, I
fine,
couldn't
mate.
join right at the beginning, guys.
It's all chilled out. You guys are more than welcome to use this Discord after I'm gone. So, I shall.
you dying?
Well, no, I have to leave the Discord to play the music.
Oh
so,
right, I was going to say, are you trying to tell us you're quitting YouTube or something, or you're
No.
quitting Twitch? I was like, this is a
Trust me.
horrible way of running out.
if I quit YouTube and Twitch, I will go out with a bang. Trust me, I will blow up my computer or something. I don't know. I'll take it to a field
Oh,
and blow it up
God.
with a howitzer.
And then I'll do a stream of literal people's asses.
That's a way to end a channel, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
get yourself taken off YouTube.
Yeah, that's how I'm going out.
That's
Yeah,
clever.
Yeah,
I like
that's how I'm
that.
doing it.
I like that
this
a
is,
lot.
This is the crescendo you're talking about. I'm building up to a real one.
Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. I wish you all the best. And if I don't hear from any of you again, have a nice Christmas. Have a nice New Year. Next year will be an amazing year. Trust me. I shall see you all next time.